So let's see if this actually works. I do not know if it will work, but we will just see. We will just see. It will probably, yeah, I just hope it will not be very laggy. Let me actually see if I can watch the stream myself. Let's see, let's see. Let us see what's going on. Let us see, let us see, let us see. Ooh, I think OBS now has an integrated chat. I've not seen that before, I have to admit. So, that's cool. That's very cool. That is awesome. So, let me actually watch the stream myself. Now has an integrated chat. Oh yeah, there it is. I have to admit. So that's cool. Seems to be a bit laggy from my side again. That's not good. Hi everyone. Is it as laggy for you as it is for me? Let me actually watch the stream myself. Really elementary. It integrated. Why did we never use it then? Oh, my desktop audios. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Probably hurt me. I will just it's not laggy. Okay, that's good. That's very good. Hi Pete. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I will just close all Opera windows that I have opened. So we can actually, oh, let me see if I can. So let's see. Yeah, so for me in the OBS, the chat is lagging behind. So I don't know. I don't know. I might be very, very slow with answering. Oh. Performance mode. That sounds interesting. See, that's why I started this stream before the time. Oh, hi Pete. Yeah, I did only review Infinite and Divine, and I did review Xenos till now, and I plan on doing them monthly now, like about monthly. Like I will not give you a specific or like time, because it might be that I'm not getting done with one, or I might get done with one quicker than I thought. So I don't know. But yeah, so stream status, he says it's good. I hope it is good. I hope it's not lagging like last time where like no one could understand anything I said. So yeah, who's ready for Tower of God later? I hope all of you. Yeah, I really hope we will. I hope we will stay a bit and get some Tower of God done today as well. Hi Luca, yes, I might play Outlast. I'm not sure what I'm exactly doing for next Halloween. As always, there will of course be a stream. I've talked to my wife, and that's our deal. At least I get a Halloween stream. That's very important to her. So I'll actually close some stuff here, and I just hope that everything will just also be a bit better. that can go away. Hi, Nameless. Yeah, you made it in time. So also, please, no one spoil me Frieren. I already read in the Discord that it's an awesome episode, but I've not watched it yet because I was having some fun in Deep Rock with some friends. So that was my priority, I have to admit. So I did not record Frieren yet. I might do it after the streams. Perhaps I'm too tired. I'm pretty tired at the moment because that was like I had a very long work week and it was very successful, but it was very long. And Fridays are very tiring sometimes. I don't know how it's for you. I hope your Fridays are going perfectly and you all have energy to spare. So, yeah. So. Yeah, I also have now bought a LAN cable, which might have been a problem last time. So I just hope that I mean my app says the stream is good, and it's now 23. Hi, Margin Mortal. Good to have you. I always wanted Margin. No, it's Manji because I always read Margin and I wondered whether you were a Dragon Ball fan, but might be some different. Yeah. We've not had a stream. I just realized this is the first stream in half a year. Like it's, I really miss the streams. I might cosplay Zaka. Yeah, I mean, but I don't have a beard. I might cosplay Hannes again. That would be like I did a cosplay on that one Halloween stream, and everyone was like very shocked. I don't even know if it's still comically. I missed you too, mate. I missed you too. I missed you all. Like I seriously, I missed you all. But the part, like the last half year, man, it was wonderful, but also a nightmare. Really was. Like it's been a while. But I feel that now things have calmed down, and it's probably not the case. I bet tomorrow something really shitty is gonna happen or something. That's always how it goes, I feel. But yeah, I don't know. Um, Mugen no Junin. I don't know that. Is that? I know. I mean, it's obviously probably an anime, but I have not seen that one. Yeah. I'm cosplaying Frieren and my wife being fan. My wife's a bit shy on camera. I mean, have you seen my Hogwarts Legacy playthrough where she was with me on the stream? She was very shy. She was like, not gonna say anything. Oh god, she's probably gonna watch this tomorrow. I love you so much. Yes, comically high. Episode 320. That's gonna be 2 hours. Yes. I was like, I don't know how many of you watch the Attack on Titan stuff, but I recorded the season 3 last week, like all of it. Like I couldn't stop. And I planned on finishing season 3 and I planned on watching 319 till 322. And then 320 came and I sat there for like I recorded 2.5 hours because I made a mistake. And I think you will like that mistake, but I made a mistake. And the mistake was last week before that episode, and I didn't know what it was about. Obviously, it was just a coincidence. But I went around, asked some friends how their grandparents reported about the artist times when they were growing up. So I collected eyewitness reports, and then the episode came, and I talk a lot about what people from those times said. And I think it might have been very interesting, I hope, but like it made me sit there for 2 hours and I had to go to bed and I had to talk on a conference the next day and I had 3 hours sleep. That was awesome though. It was an awesome episode. A manga. Okay, that's good. I need to read some manga again. I missed reading manga as well. Like like now that there's work and my daughters and the channel, I basically do that. That's my life. I hope to write the next horror story very soon. I've planned it out, but I don't get around to write it. It's sad. But yeah, Karl Lauterbach. Nah, better not. Better not. I find him funny. I mean, he did some stupid shit, but I think he also did some funny shit. I mean, I'd rather have a politician that I at least can laugh about than a politician that's just making me cry, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad, Icarus, that it's a good thing for all of you. Like, the things with the German perspective, it's so, like, I mean, like Icarus, for example, you've been here for like 4 years or something, or 3 years, and I never really cared that I'm German, and I still don't care. It's just a coincidence, but with Attack on Titan and Frieren, it brought something of value, actually, and I never would have thought when I started this channel that being German was anything like that I would ever talk about anywhere, like, really. Yeah, it's like, it's so wild that it was, like, especially Frieren. Like, Attack on Titan, yes, I think you will enjoy the German, especially now in Season 3, Part 2. There are some cool things, I think. But in Frieren, that was so useful to be German, because, like, I think you miss half the anime if you are not German, or at least not like, if you don't know German. So I'm very glad that you recommended it. So, hi, Yuma. Good to have you here. We did not really start yet. We just were chatting because I haven't chatted to you for such a long time. So, comically, Uzumaki. I really, really think Uzumaki is really scary. The snail parts, I hate them. I hate slugs. Like, I find them disgusting. Because when I was a really little child, I fell into a nest of slugs that was really disgusting, and I was like 4, and so I don't like them, and everyone turns into slugs. But yes, Uzumaki is a brilliant, brilliant piece of work. My favorite Junji Ito. Let's start the Q&A now a bit. I have Patreon questions. I will do them, but also yours, of course. Like, favorite Junji Ito story. I will ask myself. My favorite Junji Ito story is the Enigma of Amigara Fault. That's brilliant. Like, that's so good. It's so good. Hi, Magic, Mr. Magic. Oh, Mr. Magic. That's cool. Yeah. Escargot. What is escargot? I don't know escargot. But yeah, like, Junji Ito is. I like, one of my dreams would be like someone like Junji Ito illustrating my stories, like, because I love his art style. It's so eerie. Like, but Amigara Fall is good. There is also this one about a dream, like, where they implant a fungus into someone's brain and they live forever in their dreams, and they are horrifying dreams, but they are afraid of death. And I love that one. Hellstar Remina is brilliant. Can also recommend that. Hi, Jagger. Good to have you. Yes, snails, but I mean slugs. Like, I mean slugs specifically. Snails it's okay. Like, there are these big snails. They are like rubber, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, but Junji Ito is one of my favorite horror artists and horror writers. I think he has recently stated, though, that he's running out of ideas, actually. I think he said that in an interview about. I think they did some specials when his special collection, Junji Ito collection, came out. And he said that it's like very hard for him to get creative nowadays. And that's sad, because I love his stuff so much. But, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah, Eternal Waking. Yeah, Eternal Waking. That's like, I loved it. Loved that concept. It reminded me a bit of The Jound. Hi, Matt. He made a supernatural version of No Longer Human. I don't know what No Longer Human is, though. So, yeah, Demmer, go back to work. Don't slack off at the stream. But no, you can. I hope you catch up later. I hope we all have some fun. And yeah, Tower of God today. can't wait. But we will first do some stuff with the with the Q&A stuff. Oh, Yuma, where is your country? Is it where do you live? Where are, like, I know Germans migrated to several places. I think in Canada, for example, there are many Germans, and I think there are Americans like villages as well. So yeah. Uzumaki is getting an anime. No, I have not seen that. That's good. Thanks, thanks, Comically. That's good to know. Yeah, I hope for some horror content this year. I will watch. Like, perhaps I will watch that for Halloween, because Brazil. I didn't know many people went to Brazil. Like, I know from my sister-in-law. She's from Peru. She said there are some Germans there, but not many. But I know it's not really that area, like only very roughly. I'm also very shit at geography, so. But yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, before the bad stuff in Germany, I think we had a pretty cool culture. Like, there was like very cool tales and stuff, like the Brothers Grimm, for example, the fairy tales, and I don't know, but yeah, I mean. Don't have to talk about that. If you want to hear me talk about that, you have to watch Attack on Titan, Season 3, Episode 20, and everything around that. But yeah. Yeah, but I want to watch Uzumaki this year then, if that comes out. I also want to watch Dandadan. I've seen that, it's cool. But let's actually start with some questions now. Or do you have questions? Like, of course, you can also... You are here, you can ask me anything you want, so... Why did so many Germans pick South America? I can only tell you that from really like my thoughts. Like, when I was a child and I read about South America in like Atlas books for children, it always sound like I always had this impression of peace. I don't know why. Like, and I've recently watched a documentary by Gordon Ramsay where he runs around the world and goes to countries and cooks stuff. Like, it's Gordon Ramsay. I love Gordon Ramsay. Like, when he's not shouting as well, because he seems to be a really cool dude. But and he was at Peru, and the landscape was so beautiful, like so beautiful. So yeah, that might be the reason, Yuma. I don't know, but yeah. Hi, Big Koala. That's a cool name. I love koalas. My little daughter is koalaing, we say. Like, she's like, if I have her like this, she's like, it's so sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I think I will go to some questions. So I hope you are interested in those as well. Oh yes, wait, I can't. I can't read all of it. I have to, because there's a stupid heart in front of me. Pete, I tried to copy it to be able to read it. Oh, your day in the life as a university professor. Yes. So I will start with Pete's question, then I go to yours, Big Koala. So Pete, yeah, day in the life of a university professor. Like, I'm not a fully certified professor yet. I might possibly get certified next year. We have to see how the work, how the jobs are going. But yeah, so my day-to-day life as a university researcher and lecturer is basically like, not every day is the same. I've had different times. Like, basically there are three possible ways to work at university and research and lecturing. Like, the one possibility is, at least in Germany, one possibility is to be a lecturer, literally. Like, you lecture 16 hours a week. Like, you have, what would it be? It would be like 8 or 9 courses and lectures, and that's what you do. Like, you prepare them, you do some research. So that would be a typical day. Would then be like, go to the lectures, do them, and at the afternoon you read up on stuff. Then you can be a project employee. So there are projects that are given by states or mostly states or like the EU. Like I do a lot of EU work, and you can work there, and you have very specific goals. Like it's like several people and researchers go together, and they put forth a proposal what they want to do, and the EU will say, yeah, I give you the money or no. And if they give you the money, you will have to do what you told them to do. You do, more or less. Like we do it, of course. We do it the way they want, but I've also heard some people that just like take the money and anyway, let's not talk about that now. But yeah, so you would like see that you get the goals done that are set. Like the goals are set in several like monthly goals, so to speak. Not sometimes 2 months, sometimes a week, but that's basically what you do. You try to do them. And in both of these I just talked about, you also have some free time where you can do your own research. And that's like the common thing. Like that's what you do at university. Like 99% of the people do that. But there are also very luxurious positions where you get employed to do what you want in research. A friend of mine had that. And he was very successful. And I did a lot of research with him. So I never had that luxury. Like I always had to do my own research in private, like, or not in private, like when I had time to spare, which I almost never had. So I did a lot of hours working too much, so to speak. And yeah, I don't do that anymore. Like, but again, my next position might be exactly that, like doing what I want. And I would do more on the things I talked about in the freelance stuff. Like, for example, some people have rightfully pointed out what is with aphantasia, what is with perfect pitch in like visualization and understanding. And that's actually stuff I thought about as well. And I might do research on that, and I'm trying to produce a framework for understanding currently. And it looks good. Like it's been tested in several areas in science understanding and science education. It seems to be a good framework, but I have to say, perhaps I will get that job. I hope I will. But yeah, so that's university. Like, and every day is a bit different. You also have to like if you like I sometimes do a PhD advice. When people come to me, like in my work group, there are several very brilliant minds who do their PhD, and because I already have mine, I will of course talk to them and give them hints and I don't know, you know. And you just also sit in conferences sometimes, so and give talks. But yeah, so I hope that answers it. Let's go to Big Koala's question. How long did it take to learn English in Germany? Is it something you learned growing up? Yes, but not in the way I speak it now. So I learned English starting in 3rd grade, but it was only words. Like our teacher taught us words, and he actually lived in Africa for a while, so he used English a lot, and so he knew some cool words. And then in 5th grade we had English lessons that were like marked and graded, and I hated those. Because I hate learning vocabulary, just hate it. So I never really did it, slacked off. So my English wasn't that good. Like I could talk, but then one day I discovered on a TV station a brilliant series called Stargate, and it was on season 8 in Germany and season 9 in Canada, I think, and America. And I just had to know how it continued and just watched it. Without, like, I barely understood 2 sentences, and but I kept going, and I just started watching and playing every game in English and watch everything in English, read every book in English. I still do it, like barely do German stuff. Like I do almost everything in English now. So most of my English is actually, I think, self-taught, and yeah, it's also why I don't, like, I have a German accent, I know, but I don't. I think I'm like, you can understand me pretty well, I think, because if I talk to colleagues from Italy or Scotland, no, not Scotland, though that as well, like I cannot understand their pronunciation stuff very well sometimes. French as well, like you have to get used to that, and I think my English is pretty clear now. But as I said, I watch so much in English, and yeah. But normally you learn it at school, and like sometimes you do an exchange. I never had the money, so I didn't do it. But yeah, and I also have travel anxiety, so it's also would have been not something I would love to do. So yeah. Jack Kemp asked me, have you heard of Steins Gate? If so, would you react to it in the near future? I've heard of it. It was actually in the polls. It did not win, but I have it on my radar. Steins Gate might be one of the things I will record by the side. So currently, I don't know if you know, you probably, I mean, how would you know? That's a dumb thing to say. It's on my PC only. So I've recorded Attack on Titan Season 3 now. Frieren is on a weekly basis, solo leveling is on a weekly basis. So basically, I'm currently planning on doing like 2 recording days a week, because I do a bit too much, I feel currently. Like I will record, Vinland Saga is starting next week. But I want to do 2 recording days, and I will record like 4 episodes a day. So I will have theoretically 4 episodes of stuff that's not like regularly on the channel, and I plan on perhaps doing anime that were not chosen on the side, and someday they will just drop and you will just get them. So Steins Gate is a good contender for that, because I think it has only 24 episodes. Also, before I forget, there are many people who asked me to react to Made in Abyss, and I have seen season 1, but I yesterday talked to my wife, and she was like, why don't you watch it again? And I said, like people don't want my reaction to something I already saw. But then we figured out there is a season 2, and I've not seen that. So if you're interested in my Made in Abyss season 2 reaction, and I think there are movies as well, we just looked at Wikipedia, just tell me. So, but yes, Steins Gate is something I definitely need to watch. Guilty pleasure series and shows, Jagger asks. Yes, Rick and Morty, I would say, is a guilty pleasure. I loved season 1 and 2, and then some episodes have become so really bad, and yeah. Also, a guilty pleasure, like there is a show that there are 2 shows actually that I revisit once a year and watch through them with my wife. And those 2 shows are first The IT Crowd. I love that one. So funny. Like it's the first time I've almost peed my pants laughing. IT Crowd. The episode with the musical. That's so funny. I love it. And Parks and Recreations, actually. It's like Parks and Recreations is one of my all-time favorite things ever. Like I love that one. So good. I should have read the rest. Shows are kind of bad if looked at like critically, but you love anyway. Yeah, stuff that is kind of bad. I would say Rick and Morty is kind of bad sometimes. But I love it. It's so, like, I love this random humor. You can't believe how much I love just random shit happening. I love it. But also Rick and Morty can be exceptionally well written as well. So don't get me wrong, don't shout at me. But guilty pleasure stuff that's really bad that I watch. I actually watched German afternoon TV sometimes. And basically they hire very bad actors and they play out very stupidly scripted situations like that are supposed to be everyday life. And I loved watching those and shouting at the screen how dumb people were being. And I loved watching those. I also still sometimes watch that. Yeah. So Yuma left. I'm sorry I did not read that, but thanks for being here, Yuma, and hoping that I grow. Yes, like my goal of the channel is 10,000, and I don't have like higher goals currently. I have to be honest with that. Like I love doing it, but I'm not gonna be like, I need to have 100,000 or something like that. Like I don't like, if that happens, it happens. But currently, it's like I'm very glad with the channel currently. Like community, like you're all so cool, and I love reading the comments, even though I start to not be able to answer anymore. Like it's so sad. I love that, and Comically High asked, I'm sorry. I skipped some. Sultan says, what type of stories do you usually prefer? yeah, the cop-out would be to say a good one, but a story that makes me think, or where I learn, or where I get really emotional, like laughing really hard or being very sad. Good story. Like, I love horror the most, but I also really love detective stories. Like, I love Sherlock Holmes. I really love sci-fi stories, of course, and fantasy. Though, before I read Wheel of Time, like I want to continue Wheel of Time next week, actually. So if you're a Wheel of Time enthusiast and followed me there, I will continue it. But like, when I was young, I only read fantasy. Like, I read so many fantasy books, and it started to get boring, unfortunately. But yeah, so I do prefer stories where there's a cool character as well. Like, I think I prefer that. And cool characters for me, like a really badass character. And that might be a guilty pleasure as well, because sometimes they're really badly written. I mostly like stuff with good villains as well. Villains are, because a good villain makes you think and see the limits of humanity and where catastrophe could be. You know, I love villains. Yeah. And again, horror, like very scary stories. Very scary stories. I need those. Like, they're like, I love being scared so much. Yeah. So Manji learned English with, oh, you did not have dubs. That's cool. Yeah. I think in the Netherlands, they also mainly don't have dubs for movies, so they always have subs and you always hear the language. I love that. I actually would love for that to be the case in Germany. It's not, but I mean, you can't have everything. Yeah, Steins Gate has 2 seasons. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I did not know Steins Gate. Okay, but Steins Gate Zero is another Steins Gate, I think, isn't it? Don't spoil it. I mean, if I do Steins Gate, I will watch every Steins Gate content, but I will do it down the line. But just now, Vinland Saga did win, so yeah. And comically, JoJo, I don't know. I think I saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 1 very way down the line, and it wasn't. I didn't connect with the characters, actually, so I don't know, but yeah. I would just comment on that. If you could make any anime, manga, or light novel to live action, what would it be? Peak asks that. I think Dragon Ball, in a good way. Anime, manga, or light novel into a live action. Which one would I do? I might do Attack on Titan, actually. Attack on Titan should be a show, a very good show, like One Piece. Like, I haven't watched One Piece really, and I've not read it, but I've watched the live action if you've seen my reactions, and I loved One Piece. And on that level, I want, like, I don't know how faithful they are to the source material, but I want Attack on Titan on that level. And also Frieren, actually, because I think Frieren could work very well, and they don't have that much budget to have, you know? So, and it would really... I also want, and that is perhaps a bit off topic to the question, but what I really want one day is something on the streaming service that's not always the same length. Like, take Frieren. Like, sometimes you have arcs for half an episode, sometimes you have arcs for like 2 or 3 episodes, and I would love them to just do them. Like, just the arcs. So there's an episode like 30 minutes, there's an episode like 2 hours or 3, like a movie, and that's the season. But I would love that, because I think it would give creators a bit more like room to breathe and stuff. But yeah. Big Koala asks, would you consider watching an anime called Terror in Resonance? Very short anime, 12 episodes. I think that was also on the poll. I think it's on the poll, so I have it on my list, so I might do it. Yes. So there is a guilty pleasure movie from Manji called Chasing Puppy. That sounds cool. Sounds Italian, but I don't know. Jojo might be too bizarre for me. Might be. Might be. I don't know if Jojo's too bizarre. I mean, it's in the title. I normally like bizarre stuff, but yeah. So MG says there's 3 movies for Made in Abyss. 2 are recaps. Oh, I see. A 3rd one you should watch before season 2. That's cool. It's cool too. Oh yeah, I did not see Dune Part 2, but I plan on watching it next week on Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, yeah. Naki Urasawa Monster. That sounds cool. I've not heard of that. Might check it out. So let's actually go to some Patreon questions. I will just change the screen and let me actually do it like this. Can I do it? Yeah. So I can read the chat and also show you my questions. So we have some Patreon questions, then we go to your questions, and then we talk a bit, and then we go into Tower of God, of course. Hope you all missed the Tower of God streams as much as I did. So, yeah. Comfort of consistency when they sit down for the weekly filler episode. You know, I think that's a very big problem in television, that they have so much filler sometimes. I think you shouldn't do anyway. Because I ask about my opinions on international banking. I have no clue, I have to admit. No clue. No clue. Where I am in Tower of God, I am currently on the hidden floor. I think we just met the Coons. So, yeah. I think we just remember Ed 1. So, anyway, so we start with Lloyd's question. Have you watched the Studio Ghibli movies? No. You will shout at me now. You will throw your virtual tomatoes, but I have not. I think I've actually seen one. Let me actually look up what Studio Ghibli movies there are. Like, I know their names, and I know they're very good, and I might have watched them, but I'm not good with this stuff. I mean, I was Studio Ghibli, so let's see what they did. Oh, Spirited Away, that's brilliant. Okay, I've seen that. I just saw the picture of Chihiro. Let me actually see. So, okay, let's go through them. Let's go through them. I will put them up here, I think. So, I don't know if you can read them very well. So, Castle in the Sky. Nope, not seen that. Just heard good thing about it. Oh God, Grave of the Fireflies. Not seen it, just the first 5 minutes. I got nightmares. I was 6 years old, and yeah, like, no. Kiki's Delivery Service is supposed to be also very well done. I don't know these. Princess Mononoke is from Ghibli. I love Princess Mononoke. I've seen that. One of my favorite anime movies, I would say. Spirited Away, again, also brilliant. Howl's Moving Castle is perfect. And the weird thing is, I've read Howl's Moving Castle as a novel. I think it's a novel, and I've read that. And one day the trailer came out. I think it was 2003 or something, obviously. And I was like, wow, I have to see it, and I never watched it. And then I watched it, I think, some years later. So, Tales from Earthsea. I like Earthsea. I might watch that. The Wind Rises, Tale of Princess Kaguya. When Marnie was there. Nope. Red Turtle. The Boy and the Heron. One of my best friends is telling me almost every day I have to watch this one. So, yeah. Might do that. So, now you've seen my... my limited knowledge on Studio Ghibli. So, yeah, Princess Mononoke was also the one, Manji, that I watched first. And Princess Mononoke was this legend among us. Like, I think I was in 5th grade or something when it was on German TV. It was on a broadcast station we watched a lot and where the other anime were running during the week. And the first time it was aired, I was not allowed to watch it because I wasn't allowed to stay up that late. So my friend watched it and he was like, there was this guy and his arms were shot off with an arrow. And I was like, wow. So yeah. Oh, Earthsea is mediocre. That is sad. I love the one real like live action movie of Earthsea. So yeah, but I don't know. So I hope, Lloyd, that clears up the question. So no. The Grave of the Fireflies is something I might. No, I'm not gonna watch it. It's too sad, actually. Too sad and too real. Like that's. I also already think that Attack on Titans in parts is too real, and Frieren was also a bit too real in parts for me, because I get really invested in stuff, and if I get too invested, I get really like sad and stuff, like really sad for like a day or something, and it's like I don't want a bad mood. So anyway. Big Koala, with regard to Germany, do you think German culture is expanding or being drowned out, so to speak, say in the last decade or so? It's being drowned out in Germany, definitely. And there are various reasons for it. But I feel actually, and I have to be completely honest, I love that the Japanese people preserve so much of our culture. Like, I would consider Frieren almost like it has this German spirit, I think. Like this old German spirit. Like, if I also German culture for me is everything that was like before 1915 or something, about that time, like for the, like 1900s. So yeah, so like stuff like Siegfried or the Brothers Grimm, this all these fairy tales, and like there was a big sense of duty, and I don't mean the bad kind of duty, like be on time, like I'm always on time, people. And when I'm with colleagues from other countries, I'm always on time. They're like, wow, you're like punctual. And I grew up like that. I'm always 5 minutes early even, so I like that. But it's always also a bit hard to say what exactly the culture of a country is, And for me, you recognize the culture mostly through the stories that are told on the country, that are like home to the country, and some like customs. And there are not that many German customs, and again, some are drowned out because currently we in Germany, the situation is a bit sad, because it starts to tilt really against preserving anything German, I feel, and because people are so afraid of the repeat of 1930s, obviously. I mean, and I can see that point. I can see that point. But then again, I don't know. It's a complicated thing. I don't know. Yes, comically high. I think two cultures on opposite ends of the world independently arrived at martial duty and honor, and then became close. Yes. And I wish, like, culturally speaking, and again, I'm speaking about this like more old culture, I would love Germany to be a bit more like Japan in that regard, I feel. And I might not know how Japan exactly is. I've never been there. Like, it might just be this Japan in my head that I imagine, and so take it with with a ton of salt, But yeah, I think I don't know. But then again, you also have to be sure that you don't get stuck on your culture as well. I mean, that's also, I hope, hopefully clear, like, because some cultural stuff is really stupid in Germany, at least. So, yeah, like, what's really stupid in German culture, and and I'm so glad I'm not at a place where it's a custom. So normally when you get a baby, the moment you are like, your wife is pregnant, not your wife, like when the wife is pregnant, the grandmother starts brewing alcohol. And like the alcohol that they brew is like very, very hard stuff. And when the baby is born, everyone from the village comes to your house and congratulates you, and everyone gets a shot of that alcohol. And I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. Because like I'm living here with my wife alone, basically. Like we are hermits, so to speak. My family lives a long way away. Her family lives a long way away. So we would have had to do the alcohol stuff that was expected of us ourselves, and we couldn't. Like we barely were able to go shopping in the last 3 months or 4 months. So it was like, I don't know. So yeah, that's a culture I really think is stupid. I mean, it's a nice thing, but I mean nowadays, like earlier in Germany, like way back, not really way back, like 20 years ago or so, it was very, very often that your grandparents or your parent lived like next to you, so they helped with children and stuff, and I like that. So yeah, I hope I hope that answered the question, Big Koala. So let's go to Hal, our good friend. So first is, have you... Oh, Manji Mortal, you have no idea. You have no idea what you can do with a keg and, what do you say, a barrel. You have no idea. Oh my God. Friend of mine, the same one who recommends the Boy with the Heron, by the way, he did make his own wine. This was brilliant wine, but his equipment got broken and now he can't do it. Also, don't taste homebrewed stuff. It's dangerous, obviously. I would never do it. So, Hal asks, have you ever considered cosplaying, or is that best spectated from afar? I mean, I have cosplayed Agent Smith on that Halloween stream. Like, I really like stuff like that, dressing up. Though I hate makeup. So if I cosplay stuff, or like if I dress up as something, I always do stuff that, like, people that look like me a bit. Like, what would I cosplay? I would cosplay Heiter, I would cosplay Hannes, I would cosplay Eisen, like Sosuke Eisen. Like sometimes I grow my hair out, so then it fits. And I really, really, really admire people who do it, who sew their own stuff, and like so awesome. Like and I have been to the anime convention in Germany, the big one, and there were so many great cosplays there, and the people were so kind. Like, you could ask them, like, yeah, that's so cool. How did you do it? And everyone liked it, and yeah, I really, really like cosplay as a general thing, and really cool stuff. And I met many nice people on the convention that cosplay. Through the cosplay, like, it's a conversation starter. And yeah. So let's jump to Big Koala for a moment. Do you intend on living in Germany for the rest of your life? Or would you entertain the idea of moving to another country in the future? Yeah, right, I cosplay the Doctor every day a bit. Like, I have a better Doctor Who cosplay than what you see here. Like, I have an 11 Doctor cosplay, I think. I bought it once for a party. So I don't even know if I still have it. But yeah, 11th Doctor, like, I love that one. Yeah, the country, I don't think I will move away from Germany. Because my family is here, my friends are here. And I would love to travel more, though. Like, the problem is I have the travel anxiety. I talked about that in Frieren, so I can't really, like, flight anxiety mostly. And that, like, bars me from lots of cool stuff. But I love going to Greece. I've got some friends in Greece. Greece is a wonderful country. I also would love to go to Scotland one day. Like, I love Scotland. It's so cool. And I so want to go to America one day. I need to go to a diner. I know they're mostly shit, I've heard, but I need that. I need a diner where I can just eat the breakfast in America. So yeah, that's something I really want to do. Also, Japan might be interesting. I don't like the Japanese food, though, because I don't like food that is like like from the sea, like fish and algae and stuff. So it's not my thing. But I would love to go to shrines and to see the cherry blossom festival one day. So that is something I would love to have as well. Like, so not like moving, not really. I also like I have had job offers from other countries. Like yeah, it's so. But I always decided against them. Like they are good career wise as well, but yeah, you have to move it. And again, I've got 2 little children now, and like we are on our own. Like my wife and me are currently pretty much on our own completely. And like with twins, it's hard. And moving would like put so much stress on us, and potentially learning a new language even would be like we couldn't just do it. Like perhaps I would love to buy a little shed somewhere in Scotland or something, if that's even possible. I don't even know how the laws are, because I would love to like have a place to go to there. But yeah, mine was to Scotland. That's cool, and you threw access. That reminds me of East Frisian customs. So I'm from East Frisia originally, which is at the sea directly next to the Dutch border. Like you could see the Netherlands from the coast I was living at, and they are like a little area where they are very secluded in a way and have their own traditions, and they also do stuff like throwing logs and stuff. I never did it because my mother said no, it's stupid, but I would love to do it. I love things like that. It's just fun. We have in my hometown we have a festival. It's called Matjes Festival, where they eat a certain fish and everyone celebrates it. So, yeah, homebrew stuff, I know it's fine mostly. That's why I drank it from my friend. He's a very he's very careful with cleanness. So it was great. But yeah, if I would get an American offer, would I take it? I don't actually know. If I would get a professorship in America, I might actually. Because I'm half American. I don't know if I've ever talked about that. I did talk about that in the Attack on Titan 320 reaction, by the way. So you will get a lot of backstory of my personal life in that one as well, because it was very, it fit the situation a lot, I felt. But yeah, I'm half American. So I don't know. It feels like home a bit. I don't know why. Like I've never been there. I've been born in Germany, but my father was an American. So, and German cuisine recommendation, yes. Königsberger Klopse, it is called. It's like meatballs that are made with a special sauce. Also Schnitzel. And I know it's technically, I think, Austrian, but Schnitzel I would consider German food as well. And yeah, those are my favorite foods. Like in the town where I did my PhD studies and my normal studies in university, there is a very, very small restaurant. It is led by a German, and his wife is a Vietnamese woman. So they have German and Vietnamese food on the menu. It's so awesome. They are so kind, those two. And like I've been going there for 10 years now, and like I go there twice a year or so, but they know me, and they have got the best schnitzel I've ever had, and so good, yeah. Hi Obi-Wan. It's not the droids. I'm not gonna make the joke, but yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoy the content. I'm glad you all enjoy the content. I mean, I'm basically a rambling dude that tries to think. Mostly I managed to, but yeah. So let's continue with hell. If you were to experience a scenario from any horror story, how much would it take to convince you that your experience is real and not hallucinated, illusory, or otherwise misunderstood? Not much, actually. Not much. I did have two experiences where I would say they were weird. I'm hesitant to say they are supernatural, because I think there is an explanation for everything, and I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but I don't think the explanation has to lie within what we know currently. We know nothing, basically. Because, I've talked to astrophysicists and to quantum physicists and to the people who try to understand what the universe is and stuff. I've talked to those people, and we know nothing. We don't. It's just like that. But yeah, there were two instances where I had experiences that are scary and creepy and possibly weird. And yeah, so, and I don't know if I've talked about that. One I even turned into a horror story of mine, and you can listen to it. So there's a horror story on Withers' channel that, he read it, and that is 90% true, that story. I will actually just, let me link it, wait. Let me just link it. I'll, watch my horror stories and stuff. Yeah, my new one is out now. The one I've been teasing for half a year now. It's out finally. I will also put that link in the chat in a moment. But I will quickly look for the link. Yeah, so there's a horror story that I turned it into a horror story because it fit. I do think there are rational explanations for the things, and nothing was there. But when I was a child, we thought we saw a monster, basically. And nowadays, I think we just wound ourselves up with panic. But we did see, that was so scary. It was on our child's birthday. So I will just actually just put it in. I will just put it into the to the chat if anyone is interested. I don't know, but that was the first thing. But that one is the story where I'm we just there was a cat in a bush, and that was it. As a German would say, und fertig. That was it. It was nothing special. But and I think we've listened to the story on the channel before. So yeah. Yeah. So and the other thing was, and that was really scary, and I still don't know what it was. And it was nothing really. So when I was 7, at night I saw an orb in my room, this weird floaty thing. It floated around. It was not a reflection on anything. It was just floaty, and I thought I dreamt that. So, and then next day my sister starts talking about, I saw this sphere in my room, and that was fucking scary. It was never happened again, but it was so scary because I have not told her. So yeah, I don't know. That is also something I did experience. So okay, books. Yeah, books. Let's go with books. Now, it wasn't a ball lightning. It was just it looked a bit like an ascended being in Stargate, but not a lot. Basically that, but very small. And yeah, so as I say, I don't know what it is, what it was, but again, I don't know. I would have thought it was a dream, but so hell, I do not need much to convince me that something weird went on. Let's put it like that. I will not be there's an alien standing in front of me or anything, but I will say, there was something weird. Let's see. Because I'm a scientist, I just want to see then. So, love for books. If so, what was the longest book you've ever read? And to add on to the above question, what's your favorite book? So, and hi Amelia, good to see you. I hope you have a great day. Yes, I love books. I'm writing them. I've not really written a real book in years, but I love that. But I also love reading so much. My favorite 2 books are, and I love many books, but they are my favorite because they somehow stayed with me, and there was something about them I just loved. And the one of them is, that was my cat. Night Train to Lisbon. I don't know if you know it. It's just a very philosophical, beautiful book. I think it takes place on a train ride to Lisbon, obviously, but it's about someone from, I think, Spain or Portugal who was in some revolution and did bad stuff and good stuff, and he tried to figure out what life was. And the book is basically this guy on the train going for Lisbon, and because he found a book by this guy from Lisbon who wrote this, and in this book there is all this stuff that he thought up to understand life. And the book is basically the guy in the train and the passages from the book he reads, and it's beautiful. I love it. There's a very shitty movie made from it, so don't watch the movie. It has Jeremy Irons in it. I love him, but the movie itself is very, very bad, and very bad. It doesn't capture the essence. And the second favorite book of mine, I would say, is Forever War. It's a sci-fi book. Do I have it here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it is. But Forever War. Forever War is it is like Starship Troopers, but like not funny. Like, and Starship Troopers, the books I think are also not funny, but the movies are, and I love them. And I'm playing Helldivers currently with some friends, and I love it as well. Like this, but Forever War is not like that. It's basically the same idea. I get the same technological vibes. So basically, humanity was attacked by a weird race, and they prepared to fight that race. And the catch of the book is like not really fighting that race, but it is a war. So they are in war with the race, and they jump to these distant planets. And the thing is that they use travel methods that like are affected by relativity. So each time they jump into a war zone and back, I think 100 years or something have passed. So this one dude jumps into war again and again, and like society changes and changes, that changes and changes until like the first time he comes back, his mother's very, very old and he almost dead, and everyone he knows is like gone into another place and stuff. And like then he jumps again, and like the culture changes, and the people he jumps into war with change, and it's such a brilliant book. It's so good. And there are parts 2 and 3 to that, and they're shit. But part 1 is like, you should read that if you're a sci-fi fan, and if you like stuff like Starship Troopers, Equilibrium, and also Doctor Who, perhaps a bit because of the time. Like, it feels like time travel, and it is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant book. But I love many books. Like, there are many. Like, I love Sherlock Holmes books. I love, obviously, Wheel of Time and Dune. I also love Harry Potter, because I grew up with that. What other books do I love? I really like the Infinite and Divine book from Warhammer. Yeah. Did I ever read Shakespeare? No, unfortunately not. I think my English is not good enough for that, actually, and I wouldn't get it. So, yeah. But yeah, by the way, Forever War also, they plan on doing a film about it with, I think Channing Tatum is supposed to play the main character, and he would fit perfectly, but yeah. Hi, Kiaru. Yes, Equilibrium is one of my favorite movies as well, like sci-fi wise. It has really, really, like, if you think too much about like specific scenes and stuff, it's like it falls apart quickly, I think, but I love it. Like, it is a very good sci-fi. Like, I love the idea of it. So yeah, it's a good movie, definitely. So let's get to pure metalcore. Do you have favorite YouTube channels and Twitch streamers? I did stop watching specific YouTube channels and Twitch streamers like when I myself started the channel, because I always am afraid of stealing from like content creators, because I also watch reactions a lot, and I still watch Bleach reactions a lot, but I do indeed have some favorite YouTube channels. I only have one favorite Twitch streamer, so let's start with that, because I don't really watch Twitch. I don't know Twitch a lot. I've never really been on Twitch, and the Twitch streamer I used to watch a lot was True Talent, because I loved his Dead by Daylight content. I'm a big Dead by Daylight fan, a really big Dead by Daylight fan. Haven't played it in a while because the people I played with like kind of left. Like, I played it with my wife, she loves it, but all the other people we played it with like changed to other stuff or left. currently I play a lot with a friends group that doesn't, that they are like, that's too scary, and so we don't play it. And anyway, I loved the, like that, like he gets really competitive, and I love it. And he's like, he has strong opinions on some of the community stuff, like the pages and stuff, and I love him raging. But yeah, so I love True Talent streams. Like he's really cool. Like his gameplay is just so cool. Favorite YouTube channels. I love I currently every time before I go to sleep, I take my laptop and I watch an episode of Cracking the Cryptic. Yeah, Cracking the Cryptic is a channel where they it's two really clever, brilliant, and very kind people. Apparently, they feel very kind in their videos, and they basically crack very hard puzzles that are based on Sudoku. And I love watching a video and then go to sleep because like it's very soothing to see just some mathematics. And I know that sounds weird, but so I love that channel. I love Luton's channel as well, of course, for the lore. Also, reaction channels. I really love Ouija Reacts channel, and he's actually I think he does not. I think he has less subs than me, but I love him. Like I love his Bleach content especially. So he's probably the first person I want to watch a video about Bleach reactions. So I always watch all the Bleach reactions I can find, but his are my favorites. And like he's really cool dude. Yeah, like he's also one of I love his channel. Other great YouTubers I watch. Like when I was 16, I watched Markiplier a lot. I think I was amongst his first 5,000 subs actually. Not that it matters, but like I watched him a lot mainly because I liked horror and he was funny. I don't watch him anymore. Like I haven't watched him in like probably 10 years, but I think I stopped when he finished Dead Space 3 around the time. But I really love it. I also really like Ryuka. Like he does Super Mario stuff. I really like that one. I think and of course, Vidith. I love Vidith. It's one of the things that makes me most sad that I can't watch Vidith's channel. Because I always try to not listen to other people's horror stories because I always fear that I will get inspired by them too much. Like I would never steal anything at all, of course not, but like sometimes stuff pops up. Like for example, in one of my stories, I used a bit stuff like from Amigara Fault from Junji Ito, and I did it because I wanted to pay homage to him, and it was different. But people were like, "Yeah, you copied it," and I was like, "Yeah, no, not really." But I don't want things like that. But yeah. Anyway, I think that addresses the question from Pure Metalcore. So thanks for that one. So Manji Model, Harry Potter was the first big book series I realized as I was reading it that the author was trying to bite more than they could chew. Would I agree to that? I see where you're coming from, but I would argue it's a child's book in a way. I know that's not an excuse, and I agree. I know she definitely in the last part, the camping stuff was going on for too long and stuff. But all in all, I think when you consider it, it started as this child's book for me because when I read Harry Potter, the first one I was 6. I read Harry Potter the first 2, and then when I was 7, the 7th one, and then the 4th one came out, and we waited in line, and so. I love that. That's so cool. And then the books grew up with me a bit, and I think that is the cool thing about them. It's not that the story is perfect. The story is full of logic holes, so full of logic holes. But it's perhaps that you could consider Harry Potter a guilty pleasure, but I think I give it not enough credit when saying that. So it's better than that. So yeah, but have you ever played tabletop RPGs? What about favorite board games? I've not. I've played Das Schwarze Auge. Oh no, that's what do you say? Pen and paper. No, tabletop. I've never played tabletop. I so want to do it, but the thing is, it's too expensive. It's just too expensive. I wanted to have some Warhammer figures when I was 16, and I wasn't allowed to because I didn't have my own money really. Like I earned money, but my parents told me to put it into savings for my university time, and that was the right call, of course. And now it's like I spend my money on my daughters, basically like diapers. Like, you don't know how expensive children are, and the German system, like, they do support you, but my wife can't work, and I don't have money currently for that really. But I hope one day I will get some tabletop stuff, because I love the idea so much. Like, I watched this one Bricky video where he fought some Tau, and it was so good. I love it. And favorite board game. What favorite board game? I can tell you my least favorite board game, if you consider it a board game. I don't know if it's the right word. I hate Settlers of Catan. I hate it with a passion. I hate it so much because I always lose. I love Mission to Mars. It's a board game. I love oh god, it's probably only German. The Witches of, I don't know the name. It's a very fun game where you have to draw ingredients, put them into a kettle in front of you, and if you explode, you lose. But if you don't explode, you can brew a potion. It's very fun. I love it. Such a good game, and you can also very well play it very, very well with people your family or friends, and it's very, very cool. Hello, Japanese name I can't read. I will try it. Is that first one a coup? No, it has a circle. I don't know. Tekarei? I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm so sorry. My hiragana is very, very I've not learned hiragana in 5 years. I did try to learn Japanese once, so I'm sorry. But yes, I'm stylish today again. But yeah. Favorite music? Oh yeah, the board game. I will. You know what? It's so good. I will link it to you. I don't know if it has an English version, but it's one of the most fun games, and it only takes 15 minutes. One round takes like 15 minutes. So you really need to check it out. I'm not paid by them. I swear. Here it is. I just don't know if it is. I will put it on screen, but I just don't know if it is available in your country, unfortunately. Wait, I will see if there's an English version. It's really good. It's really good. Here, it is called The Quarks Quedlinburg. It has a Wikipedia article. I will just put it into the chat. You can look at it. It's a good game. It's 10 euros or something. It's There it is. Dystopian Lad. Yeah, I can pronounce that. I can pronounce that, Dystopian Lad. And thanks for the patron support, of course. So, yeah. So I will try to do some chat questions to not lose them. Favorite music genres. The problem is I don't know enough to name them. I'm really shit at naming music genres, but I can tell you some of my favorite music bands next to film music. I love 30 Seconds to Mars. I love Breaking Benjamin. I love Subway to Sally. I love Wolfsheim, as you see from my intro. What else I love Linkin Park. Let me actually look at my Spotify playlist. Oh, I love Rolf Zukowski. I don't know. You probably don't know him. You probably all don't know him. He's one of the best German musicians ever. He's also trying to sing about human concepts, and he's doing children's songs mainly, but he has some adult songs as well for adults, and they are so brilliant. So let me see. I will just get into my Linkin Park. What do I have? Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I also love a lot, like, Shiro Usagi stuff, like anime music, Hans Zimmer, Kevin Penkin, man. The Tower of God soundtrack is one of the best things I ever, like, I know from music. It's awesome. So, yeah. Amelia Newm, I find myself thinking about spaceship shapes all too often and berating myself because I feel like something else already did it. His spaceship shapes are like, I did when I was like 18. I found a copy of Maya on the high seas, and I created 3D models of spaceships, because there is this one story in my head that one day I want to write down, and it's a very complex, big story, and it involves like several genres as well. Like, it will involve sci-fi as well. And I've, like, in my head, some scenarios always play out with spaceships, and I imagine some. And yeah, I love spaceship designs in general. Like, spaceships is so cool. And like I said in my Xenos review, like, space battles are awesome. And I would love a good space sim game. Like, there was this one game they developed, Infinity Universe. One dude tried to develop it. I think it never got off the ground, really. And yeah, so yeah, but yeah. Our tabletop RPGs generally refer to D&D. Oh, I see. Yeah, so I did play Das Schwarze Auge. It's a German pen and paper. I really enjoyed it. Like I think we talked about that in the Halloween stream as well. Like I would love to do that one. Like, I love this pen and paper stuff. And I did my own one. I took Call of Cthulhu, the pen and paper, and I adapted it to my horror story. Played it with my wife and 2 friends, but they didn't want to go where I wanted, so in the end, they all landed in the hospital because I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I mean, if there's like, everyone talks about a meteorite crashing nearby, why won't you go there? Anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Herkos. Has anyone asked if you've seen, and the stupid heart is in front of it, Jig? Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. I've not seen Jujutsu Kaisen. It was also very close on the Patreon. I might do it next year because I think it's horror, and I love horror, as you know. So, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, I need that as well. I don't know what it's about, but I just know it's, I think, exorcists. Perhaps it's like D. Grayman a bit. I love D. Grayman. So, yeah. Let's go to the next Patreon question from Pure Metalcore. I love horror. Why? And when I realized I liked it, why? Why did I? So, it was actually what I talked about in Attack on Titan 3.6, the Moon Man. The Moon Man is the scariest thing I knew as a child. So there were 4 things from age 0 to 12 that I saw that really, really, like, I would say traumatized me. I know that's a strong word. I mean, even from a psychological perspective, normally it's a strong word, but I am a bit traumatized by those things. So there are 4 things I really found scary, and because I found them scary, I thought so much about them, and then I don't know, it was cathartic as well, thinking about them a bit. And so the first one was the Moon Man. So the Moon Man, you saw it in episode 3.6. The second one was the Ghost of Christmas Future from the Muppets Christmas special. Because it had no face, it was this faceless thing. I couldn't sleep so long. Then there was the Nothing from the Neverending Story. And then there was, I think it was the Blob. So I saw the Blob. It was on TV when I was like 7, and it was terrifying. So I don't know. That's my yeah. Those are the things that terrified me a lot, and I started wanting more of that because I worked through that in my mind so much and like thought about it so much. There was a point when I was like 12, and there was this story about a movie when I was a child. My one of my best friends and one of my dearest childhood friends was terrified of that movie, and his older brother always taunted him with it. And it is A Nightmare on Elm Street. And he sometimes talked about that movie, like he said, yeah, there were these children singing a song and the man that comes in your dreams and stuff. And it sounded so interesting. Like, it wasn't scary. It was interesting. Like, I was also 8, but it was interesting. And when I was 12, I watched it and loved it. It wasn't scary in the slightest to me. I just was so fascinated by it. And from that point on, I because I wasn't afraid, I was like, I need to be afraid again of a movie. And I went through movies and movies and movies, and I was never afraid again for a long, 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 long time. For a long, long time. And that's why I watched a lot of horror. And I always try to think, how would I be scared? How would I be scared? And in the end, I also wrote horror stories because of that, in part. Because I only write horror stories about stuff I would be, or I am afraid of. Like, sometimes they make me afraid myself. And if they do, I think it's a good one. And otherwise, I'm like, okay, I have to rework it. But yeah, and then I watched The Grudge, and man, that one, I had a month. Like, I was 17, a month of nightmares. And it was probably because the bed scene. Because I was lying in bed, it was dark, and I thought, what if this thing comes in my bed, man? What if it comes? That was so scary. So scary. And the bad thing was even that I didn't even see the movie. I just realized now. I just saw a making of TV spot, and I just got glimpses of Kayako, and I thought she was like floating a bit and going through corridors, and man, it was so scary. And as you know, I watched the original Japanese one, Ju-on, on last Halloween. And it is probably my favorite horror movie now because it's visceral. And yes, we've discussed on the Discord what that means, but it is indeed visceral. Like, it's so emotionally shocking, that movie. And yeah. So and also I loved. After that, I also again had a lot of time where I again wasn't afraid anymore. I was afraid of Japanese horror, but not more. And then I played Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and it also was scary AF. I was terrified by it, and that's what made me love horror games. And by the way, I only said it on the Discord, so I plan on restructuring the release schedule a bit. So my plan is to do, when Frieren is over and solo leveling is over, probably when Frieren is over, the Saturday and Sunday will be like Hail Mary slots. So I might stream, and I might play a game or something. Like, what perhaps would you want, or what I also want? And I would love to play some horror games there. That's just why I thought about it. And also, I will try to do Tower of God again. And I will also sometimes take a break. Because people have told me I should not forget to take breaks. And in the past few weeks, I sometimes got really tired in the evening. Like, not exhausted, but yeah, exhausted, not tired anyway. So yeah. So weekends will be a bit different then. Also, when Bleach comes again, I will obviously do that. But yeah. Yeah. I noticed how you enjoy Devils and Chainsaw Man. Do you have a favorite one? Not necessarily from the anime. My favorite devil would be, I think, the spider devil, because it looks so Kayako-like. Perfect Dark. I've heard of that big koala. I've heard of that. But I've never played it, so I might give it a try. So yeah, Devils and Chainsaw Man. I also like the Eternity Devil a lot. So yeah. We will get to you nameless in a moment, but we'll go to the chat again. Have you ever gone shooting before? No. My father was in a shooting club, so but I'm not good at. I don't know. It's not like for me. Like I love shooting in games, but in reality, it's like I don't know. Like a friend of mine is a hunter, and he sometimes gives me meat and stuff, which is like obviously like because like if they shoot a deer, like they will take every part of it and give it to people so it isn't wasted. And yeah, so I find it fascinating, but I'm also a bit afraid of hunting because I always am like, yeah, perhaps they don't see me and I get shot or something, you know. It's yeah. Hi, King Papakai. Is that from Dragon Ball as well? I don't know why I think of Dragon Ball so much today. Really seeing your thought process during AOT, very astute. Mind you have, keep it up. Yes, thank you. I will try my best. So King Papakai, you will also probably like 320. Lady Vengeance. I have not seen that Bungie Immortal. Can you perhaps comment that under the stream or on the Discord, Manji, so I can look it up? That looks cool. Have you heard of the TTRPG Morgborg? And its cyberpunk counterpart Cyborg? No, I have not. But Swedish and Norwegian developers, I feel they are very talented most of the time. So, yeah. Julian says half the appeal of horror is fascination. Yes, and I hope you, Julian, you heard my answers to your questions already. Yeah, I if you have more questions, of course, put them in the chat. So we already were at yours. So nameless. I don't know if you're still here. Which superpower would you choose if you could have one? Intuitive aptitude. Yeah. Intuitive aptitude. I like that one so much. I don't know if you've seen Heroes, but intuitive aptitude is basically understanding how things work. I mean, I try to do that all the time, but it's like it was the best take on super intelligence I ever had seen, and because I just think that's cool to understand stuff. I mean, that's my thing a bit. So intuitive aptitude is cool. I mean, this reality warping stuff. I mean, omniscience and no, omniscience not that, but like reality warping and like traveling into other worlds that you create is also very cool. But I think it's overpowered. But I would love to do that, like because I would love to create worlds where I can wander and like not really people, like not but just landscapes and stuff and look at them. What is your favorite book and why? Yes, we've had that question, but yeah, it is. I would say it is Night Train to Lisbon. I think it is that one. And you should it's a good book. It's a very sad ending, I think. No, I think the ending is not sad, but I interpret it in a sad way. So, yeah. If you had a time machine, which time would you travel to and why? Depends on if I could go back. If I would have to go to a time where I can travel to, I would probably travel to the future and see what it's doing. But if I could return, I would probably go to the Mayans, perhaps. And obviously, if I could speak the language of the people that are there. I mean, that's obviously, I think, every time machine has that. Every TARDIS has that. So I think, yeah. I think I would probably visit Japan and the Mayans. And yeah, I think those are the two I would. And ancient Greece. Ancient Greece, I would go there as well. And I would travel to 1920 and go to Copenhagen and see the research group and meet them around Niels Bohr. I think Niels Bohr is my favorite scientist. He has done a lot more than people think he did. and both in the community as in research. And he's had a very sad life in part. He pulled through, and he instigated brilliant stuff. So I would love to meet him. So ketchup or mayonnaise, remoulade. I don't know if that's an English word. In Germany it's called remoulade, remoulade. But yeah, if I had to choose between these two, mayonnaise. Yeah. Yeah, Bleach Core 3, I hope it drops in May. Man, I'm so starved. James Hansen, I think, or someone I saw in my newsfeed on YouTube, like not my newsfeed, my suggested videos, that they had theories on where it ends, and I would love that. Like, I would love it to be true where it ends, where they say it ends. So, but yeah. Is there a philosophical or scientific theory, hypothesis, thought experiment that you would call one of your favorites? And is there one where I would say that's nonsense? I know some that are nonsense. Schrodinger's cat is nonsense, and Schrodinger's cat is such nonsense. That's such nonsense. But I like it. Like it's like when it was put forth by Schrödinger, it was of course not nonsense, because like he did not try to it is so often misinterpreted and misunderstood what the point of it was, and that's why I think it's like the way it is perceived by the public, it's nonsense. Scientific theory, hypothesis, thought experiment that you would call one of your favorites. My favorite scientific hypothesis, not a theory, is that, and I've talked about that before, so I will not do it too much. There is a hypothesis that, and that is basically everyone I talk to says, yeah, it's probably that's it. I think it's called holographic hypothesis. I don't know what the name is, but it basically says that the universe is on the surface of a black hole in another universe. So that's pretty that is the best theory, the best hypothesis we currently have, I think. At least the people I talk to say that. Who knows? We will probably not know, but the mathematics on the surface of a black hole is the same geometry as our universe. So that's basically the argument for it. And it's a mathematical argument. But then someone took that and went further, and the hypothesis is, and it's wild, that black holes are a way for a universe to procreate, and every black hole, so to speak, is the birth of another universe, and not in this universe, but in the other universe, and weird dimensional stuff somewhere else. But something even cooler is that the natural fundamental constants would be a bit different. So every black hole has a bit different natural constants. So every universe that is created in the universal creation process, so to speak, is a bit different. And the universes that produce more black holes with their constants obviously are favored. So this process would try to produce as many black holes as there can possibly be. So it's not really a step down, though, Julian, because there is a mapping they can do. And we do that in quantum physics, basically, for quantum world to our world. Like, quantum objects are 4D and our world is 3D. So they're mapping down to our world, and it's the same there, I think. And also the two-dimensional surface is functional. It's very weird. I have to admit, I do not completely understand it, because I'm not a quantum gravity person, because those are the people that mainly do it. But my former supervisor, the supervisor for my PhD thesis, did some work on that, and he's still thinking about it. And so that's only actually what I can say. So, yeah, Pernida versus Mayuri is gonna be it's my favorite Bleach fight, so I can't wait. I need that. So, Yeah, Julian, the questions are like, I think I put them in the wrong order. So, um, uh, yeah, it's not really we're a surfers in a 4D universe. No, it's just that the mapping is weird. Like, I think someone did use this example and it might be rubbish, so don't take my word for it. It's basically, do you know these like there's a globe and it has little holes in it and there's light inside, so it shines a star sky on your wall. So it's basically a bit like that, but again, it's yeah, yeah. I don't know. Which person in Bleach would I love to befriend? Which person in Bleach? Kiraku. If it's possible, Aizen, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can befriend him actually. Those two, I think. Someone else, Hitsugaya. You know, I gave Hitsugaya a lot of shit, but I I think he's interesting, like as someone to be around. But definitely Kiraku. I would love to drink some sake with Kiraku. It's very cool. So now we go to Anna, and I think those are all of them. So okay, do you have a favorite solution for the mind-body problem? Yeah, I would just get used by eyes, and I agree that's the problem. The problem. Mind-body problem. I actually don't really know what it precisely is. Like I know the gist, but I will look it up so what we can all be clear about what it is, and I can also be clear about it. Let me actually look it up on Wikipedia, which you can do sometimes. Because I don't want to talk about something that's not true. Like, okay, just thought and mind. Okay. Just thought and mind. I'm sorry. I see. So it's what I thought. But yeah, that's very weird. Something that I find interesting, and again, a spoiler for Attack on Titan Reaction 314, I think. Yes, your brain is in the head, but your nervous system is all through your body, and that is where your brain came from in evolution. So you can't just say it's in the brain, the consciousness necessarily. Like, let's say it's consciousness. A solution to them. I would love the solution, and obviously, that, like, please don't misunderstand. It's nothing scientifically hinted at anywhere in any case, and people say it is in quantum physics. It's not, but I think there might be this this thought space, a bit like the warp in Warhammer. But I like that's I think the coolest way. Because I don't know, it is a bit dreamy of me to think that, and there's like nothing to prove that. But if you would ask me what I would love it to be, if you would ask me what is convenient, I would say that minds rest in their own space, and we are just connected to these bodies, and it's like we are like they interact, like the mind in the other plane interacts with the body, but not completely. Like they are different things. That would be my favorite solution. So, like, for example, if your arm is cut off, your brain still thinks you have it, of course, but it might also be in part between that. But again, like, that's not science. So don't get me wrong, like, I'm just like, this is more creativity I'm doing here. It's like something I love to think about. And the one story I teased a bit that I want to write one day, the big one, is about that theme actually. It is about that idea explored, like sometimes a thought space. The working title of that story is currently The Dream Afterlife. And yeah, I hope I will be able to write it one day. Yeah. So, Anna, I'm sorry, that's the German pronunciation. Anna asks, what are a few of your favorite recommended cosmic horror narratives? Cosmic horror. Cosmic horror. That is hard. That is hard. What really is cosmic horror? Would Cthulhu be cosmic horror? I would say no, like Cthulhu himself or itself. Cosmic horror. I think my favorite cosmic horror story, I will say my favorite cosmic horror story I wrote is The Terror in the Night. Yes, it is The Terror in the Night. Hellstar Remina. Hellstar Remina is awesome. Hellstar Remina is really awesome cosmic horror. Again, Utsumaki as well. I'm just thinking about Junji Ito because I think Junji Ito did cosmic horror a bit better than Lovecraft even. Though, of course, Lovecraft did a lot of cool stuff. Because I feel always like the most of Lovecraft's horror is not cosmic horror, but sci-fi horror. And I think that's the difference. Like, yes, he laid out the groundworks. For example, what's the one called? We discussed it on Halloween. Dunwich Horror. I've not read that, I think. But Dunwich Horror is also interesting. So Whisper in Darkness, I will just cheat a bit and say Whisper in Darkness is cosmic horror. It's not really. It's just sci-fi horror, which is a difference in my mind, Anna. But then again, I don't know if you agree. But yeah, so if we say sci-fi horror counts a bit instead. I also really loved Event Horizon, the movie. That was really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard. I think I myself use cosmic horror in my stories so much because I've never seen it explored in that direction. I actually think Warhammer does it best. Warhammer and Junji Ito do it best, I feel. Because I have to be honest, the cosmic horror in Xenos, some scenes were very good. Very good. They were not scary because they were not deep enough, but the concepts that were used in Xenos were so brilliant cosmic horror. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just some guy with a mustache. That's so cool. I would love to have a mustache as well. Iron View. Any other good webtoon other than Tower of God? It is also, again, one of my guilty pleasures, I think, that I read. It is, what's it called? I think I've mentioned it before. Tales of Demons and Gods. I loved that one. It was like, it was not good, but I loved it. The King in Yellow. Yes, Amelia, I've heard good stuff about that. I really heard good stuff about that. So, yeah. Cosmic horror is, yeah, exactly. Extensionism and things that are impossible to comprehend. And the notion that out there is so much terror that will just could like snip its finger, if it has one, and kill you and erase you or drive you mad forever. Like basically that. So, for example, cosmic horror is in Junji Ito's Amigara Fault. And I will just use it because it's, as I said, my favorite Junji Ito story. Like there are these gaps that are vaguely human-shaped in a cliff, and after an earthquake they're unearthed, and people suddenly are like, let's just go there and visit. So that's how it starts. Like so there are many people that visit there. So reporters go and interview some guys, and yeah, I don't know, they look weird, the holes, they were interesting. And then some guy is like suddenly, I think I found my hole. So he goes up to one of these weirdly shaped holes. He goes inside and he slides into the rock and disappears. And then suddenly everyone's like, I found my hole as well. I found my hole. So and then the main character's like, what's going on? It's so weird. And like he's like drawn to this place as well somehow, and he camps outside in a tent, and suddenly and he sleeps there in the same tent with another girl he met there, and in the night suddenly the girl wakes up and goes like, yes, I remember now, I recognize it, there is my hole. And she goes away and he follows her, and then in the end he also goes into this hole. That's cosmic horror for me. That's so fucked. I don't like the resolution of the story though. Like, the thing is, it is explained what happens to the people, and I would have loved it not to, but yeah. Lovecraft would label a lot of cosmic horror likely because he didn't have the constitution for maths. True. But he liked ice cream. I heard Lovecraft sometimes ate 50 spheres or balls of ice cream. Do you ever go to classic places in this theater in Germany, or are they not a thing anymore? Yes, they are sometimes. I did not go to the theater for a long time because I don't have the time, and near my location there are not many theaters. But when I was at university still studying, we had reduced entry fees as students for theaters, and we went to some cool ones. So I like them. So would you ever get a tarantula as a pet? If not, would you change your mind if it was able to speak to you telepathically? I don't know. I find spiders cute, so tarantula would be fun. But I would always be afraid that I would squash it accidentally. Like, I couldn't take that. Like, so no, I wouldn't. Like, even if it could talk to me, like, I would hear it screams when I squash it, when I don't know, if it comes to bed and it's like, I want to cuddle, and I'm like, okay, cuddle. I would be so sad. If you had to pick one of the punk styles as an aesthetic to live in and around, cyberpunk, solarpunk, steampunk, which would you choose? Oh no, I forgot to look up the punk styles. There was one punk style I love. I love one punk style, but I don't remember which one it was. Steampunk is pretty cool. I like steampunk, but yeah, Sheila Pet. Nah, better not. Better not a Sheila Pet comically high. Let me actually look up some what they look like, the cyberpunk styles, because I think it's like a very aesthetic question, Anna. So I will just look them up. Oh, oops! In my browser quickly. Punk styles. Examples. I once had this great graphic where a lot of punk styles were shown. Is there anywhere a good punk style? Oh man, I once had this brilliant, like they were, I think it was on some website, but it had like a picture with like many punk styles and their names. So perhaps here. Oh yeah, there it is. I think this is something like this. I will just open it in a new tab and show you. So it is on Reddit. So shoutouts to whoever did it. So solar punk, neutral punk. Oh, okay. I don't know. So they apparently sorted them into categories. I don't care. So steampunk, biopunk, ray punk, strap punk, diesel punk, cyberpunk, nanny punk, sail punk. Sail punk is also very cool. I like solar punk as well. I would say steampunk, solar punk, and sail punk. So So yeah, the do I even have the right screen on? I'm so sorry. No, I don't. I'm so dumb. So here it is. You were like, no, he's not got the right stream on. That happens when you don't stream for half a year. So there it is. So yeah, the diesel punk thing. Oh, we can enhance it a bit. Yeah, solar punk looks cool. Like biopunk and cyberpunk and retrofuturism, that stuff I don't know. I don't like it aesthetically, so I don't know. Would you ever use a Death Note given the opportunity? No, I don't think so. Renaissance punk sounds awesome as well. That sounds awesome, Amelia. I would probably like that as well. Would you ever use it? Yeah, Death Note, I don't know. It's like, do I have the right? Would the doctor say. So I agree with him. I don't think I have the right. Like, I can think of situations where I would use it. Like, okay, the question is perhaps more complicated. Let me actually put the screen back. So I would say, let's say it like that. I can imagine situations in where I would use it. Yes. So, but because saying I would not use it is probably not honest. I have to admit that. Because there will be situations where you use it. Like, I think almost every person has a reason to use a Death Note for. I think that makes the Attack on Titan topic so cruel and horrifying. That it's the ordinary people thing. It's like, because you always have to assume, realize we are living in a pretty stable society with, like, we have food. So it I don't know. Icarus, I don't know if I would use it on people like the O guy. I don't know. First of all, no, that's that sounds so fucking stupid. So the possibility that he's a fucking evil person is about 99.9999999%. But what about the other 1.9%? You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's because I thought about politics so much during the Attack on Titan stuff, and I realized, I think yesterday, that many politicians I really think are stupid idiots. I don't know them. Are they stupid idiots? Like, it's just what I see from the media and stuff. So, like, I would never use a Death Note on a person like that. The only reason I would use a Death Note on a person like someone I knew from, let's say, media or something, is if I would be certain they would end like many people and people that I knew and that I want to stop from dying, so to speak, because I don't know. Yeah, Julian, I would use it like that, probably. Yes, I would. 100%. 100%, Julian, I would use it to extend people's lifespan. Yeah. You don't use it someone else, well, yes, but then that's the person's problem. Like, for example, if someone did something to my children that was reprehensible, I would use it. I can tell you that. And my wife told me she wouldn't, like, not the Death Note, but I mean, you know what we're talking about here. And I don't know. I think if I'm honest to myself, if I knew that the person was the person who did something very unspeakable to my daughters, I would not hesitate, I think. I mean, but I don't know. Like, I'm not in this situation. It's the Attack on Titan question of knowing and understanding. Like I can think of stuff right now, but I'm not in the situation where I would use it right now. And so currently I'm in never using Death Note land, and I want to stay there as well because I don't want to go to wanting to use a Death Note land. So I think that's a good answer, actually. So like in that, I think that's the truth for me. So If it were possible before death to transplant your mind into a cybernetic shell which is capable of living for millions or billions of years, would you do it? Depends on if I could do that with my wife or my children or something. Because alone, you would probably go mad. Then again, living long would be lovely. It's the Frieren problem. Like, I can't wait to see how Frieren ends. In that, what will happen to her? Like, how will she leave the series? And I think that's living for so long. I mean, I barely can remember my childhood. You know, like I can vividly remember some stuff, of course, but I can't remember some teachers. Yes, I have played Zoma before. I've 100%ed it. It's my favorite frictional games game. I love Zoma. It's also one of the scariest, I think. I think Amnesia Dark Descent and Zoma are both the scariest games they made. I played the others. I think their worst game is Machine for Pigs and their second worst game is Bunker. Or Bunker. I don't know if you've seen me play Bunker. I did that on a live stream. I was so mad. It was so bad. But anyway, let's not digress. So, yeah, I've played Zoma. It's brilliant. It addresses the mind-body problem, basically. So, Star Wars or Star Trek? That's the final question from Patreon. Oh, God. Star Wars or Star Trek? Star Wars or Star Trek? Depends on what time you would have asked me, I think. Currently, I'm unsure. I would probably pick... I would do it like this. I would pick Next Generation over Star Wars 1 to 6. But I would put Star Wars 1 to 6 over the rest of Star Trek. And below that, I would put the new stuff. Like the new movies, the new 3. I have not seen the shows. I've not seen Kenobi. I've not seen Mandalorian. I've not seen Ashoka. So I can't say anything about them. And I can't. So, but yeah. Yeah. Star Wars or Star Trek. I just have, I love Next Generation. I recently rewatched some episodes and they were brilliantly written. Like, it was sometimes just people in a room and they talked. And there is an episode where, God, what was it about exactly? I don't know how it came to be, but for some reason there was this, a woman from a primitive society, like they lived in tents or something, and she was somehow beamed to Picard for some reason, and they wanted to convince her because they thought that the Federation people are gods, because I think they built an outpost on their planet and it was camouflage, but then the camouflage broke down, so the stealth shields broke down, and they saw them for a moment and they thought the gods are here, and they wanted, so they what do you say? So the Prime Directive was broken by those people accidentally, and Picard now has to deal with that situation, basically, to tell her that he's not a god. And the dialogue is so brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Yeah. I love Jedi a lot, though. I love the Jedi. I love Jedi Academy. I love the old, I love the Republic. And do you know that I think in 13 days, the classic Star Wars Battlefront parts, like Part 1 and Part 2, will come out for PS5. I pre-ordered them. I will stream them on a Let's Chat stream because I love those so much. Yeah. So, yeah. I like the Star Wars universe more, actually, because I feel it is closer to having thought through technologies. Like in Star Wars, the only real sci-fi stuff is the Force, and that's like science fantasy, but all the technologies they use are basically, I would say, realistic future stuff. So, yeah. Love the Republic. Democracy! Yeah, I love the first three Star Wars movies. I'm so good for me, and I know they're so flawed, but I grew up with them and I love them, and I love Obi-Wan Kenobi, I love all the Jedi, and yeah, the Q episodes nameless are brilliant. I love them. Like I enjoy both. I enjoy both Star Wars and Star Trek. Not all of the not all of it, but so yeah. Um, Fuxiada, favorite anime of all time. Um, uh, favorite anime of all time. That's a good question. Favorite or best? I will try to stall a bit. Tell me, Fuxiada, favorite or best, in my opinion? That is a difference for me. Like, the best anime, in my opinion, is not my favorite one. I think you all know what my favorite one is. Still is. It will always be, I think. But yeah, please tell me, do you mean favorite or best or both? Like, should I talk about both? I mean, do you think that if a time machine capable of traveling backwards in time were ever invented, that information about it would ever be released to the public? Yes, because people will fuck up. Like, you can't. There is. I'm very. Okay, this is perhaps a bit of a tangent. I'm very open-minded. I'm so open-minded that I will think many things are possible that are stupid. And I am someone who has to be careful not to fall for conspiracies a lot. I really have to. Because I'm always like, yeah, but what if it's right? That's my mindset. That's the drawback of my way of thinking and being very open to things. And I know that. So, things with government conspiracies is that I think, like, there are low-level ones. For example, in Germany, there is currently one that the government and the media have orchestrated a spy operation on this one meeting they had. And that is something I think now is almost completely certain. Because currently our government is afraid of the right-wing parties, in some extent rightfully, in some extent not, and they're not differentiated. So they make the mistake of trying to drown the opposition, and so they do stupid stuff, and that is sold as conspiracy by them. And I don't think it is all of it. Some of it is, but so stuff like that is something where I'm like, yeah, that's reasonable. But normally, like government stuff, like let's say Area 51, no, like that would leak. Like, have you seen how, like, I've worked with government bodies. Have you seen how incompetent they can be? Like, it just has to be one incompetent person somewhere. It will go through. So that's why I don't think it could be prevented from the public. Public might not believe it. So, but yeah. Suzuki asks, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist? I have seen 6 episodes of it. So I've watched it, I think 6. I've watched it, and then this dude with the photographs of his daughter gets killed in the phone booth, and I stopped it. I was so mad. I was like 14. Like, I didn't understand these stories. So I stopped it there. So I've never watched past episode. I don't know the phone booth one. But like nowadays, when I think back, it was pretty cool. Like, it's really cool. But so yeah. If someone offered you enough money to buy a mansion, would you fight a giant overgrown radioactive hamster with boxing gloves who's trained for years? How overgrown is the hamster? Like, what are we talking here? Like, I could take a hamster that's the size of a what size hamster could I take? Like, if the hamster's like this big, I could take it, I think. It's like this, I couldn't probably take it. Like, have you seen capybaras? They were mad. I mean, radioactive part, I don't really care, because you didn't specify how radioactive, so I'm just assuming normal radiation, background radiation. And boxing gloves, I mean, it's a hamster, can't use them. So, I mean, I did karate for 12 years, so I would Depends on the size. Big man size, no, I can't take that hamster. But I would fight it. I mean, you didn't say I need to win, so that would be fun. I would fight the hamster. If the hamster knows it's in like all well intentioned, that I don't mean it any harm. It's just a fun fight, a scuffle. I would take the hamster. It's not future, remember, it's set a long time ago. You mean Star Wars? Yes, I know, but that's because there is the fairy tale aspect to that as well a bit. So, yeah. When you get past Jar Jar, the Vader backstory is awesome. My headcanon is, Julian, that Jar Jar was Darth Plagueis. I don't care. Don't care that it's probably not the way. I just, that makes him so bearable, so fun. So, Fuxiana, both, so I stalled enough. So, yeah, my favorite anime is still Bleach because, as I think said, I think I told it before, but there was a very, very dark, like I felt very, very bad for a while when I was like 17, 18, 19 because of some very, very freaked out stuff that happened to me in the friend circle, that like some really damaging stuff that really destroyed some like friendship and trust in people, and I was very down in that time, and I discovered Bleach in that time, and it really helped me to think positively again, and I had fun. And nowadays I also love, like I can appreciate it more in an artistic and thought like this artistic mythological way Bleach is done. I love that so much nowadays, but back then it was just like I loved going and watching Bleach and just taking my mind off of stupid shit that happened. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why Bleach is my favorite, because like it has this place in my heart. And I also think it's very brilliantly written, but it's not the best. I think the best anime currently, I would say, are indeed Frieren and Attack on Titan. Both of them. Attack on Titan for the well-planned throughness, so to speak, and the characters, the motivations, the complexity, and because I have never seen humans depicted like this in any medium ever. And the writing in that regard is just fucking brilliant. Like Attack on Titan writing. And Frieren because I love fairy tales, and as you know, I think Frieren is a fairy tale. It's the biggest, most complex one there is, and I love it because it also, like both of those shows, and Frieren does it in a lot more twinkly way, and like it's basically the same coin, but two sides. And Frieren is like this twinkly, dreamlike, fairy tale-like examination of humanity, and Attack on Titan is this raw and rough and terrible and cruel but beautiful take on humanity, and that's why those two I think are my favorite ones currently. Yeah. To be stupid is part of the chaos theory. I don't know what you mean by the theory specifically. Yeah, Icarus, I get why you would read 500 chapters. And the thing with Bleach was, like, when I read it, it was my first ever Bleach chapter I read was the chapter where Hitsu, like the chapter that was out was Hitsugaya using Hyoten Yokazu against Haribel, and the leaks for the next episode, and that was the first time I realized there were leaks. Like it was Soifon's going Bankai in the end. And it was the first new Bankai I experienced since Ikaku's, and it was so awesome. Yeah. I don't know comically. Season 3 was also pretty, like, Season 3 of Attack on Titan was so perfect. I loved that so much. And I got so emotional. Like in Attack on Titan Season 3, I got my first real rage. Like there is like a 5-second part where I really, really rage. Like that's I think the angriest I've been on camera. I was so pissed in that one scene. So I have to be honest, Julian. I did a prediction on season 4 for Attack on Titan because for me it seems completely obvious what happens until the end. So, if I had a Bankai form, what element would you have? Void. I would have void, like emptiness. Episode 20. So again, the teasers, and I think I teased this so many times. It's just because I put so much work in that episode. So episode 20 is indeed 2 hours long, the reaction. So episode 20 is 2 hours long, the reaction. And it might be like, if I edited it might be like 10 minutes less, but like it is 2 hours. Because as I said, I made the mistake of like, and I didn't plan it in no way. It was just a happy coincidence, but I had asked all my friends if their grandparents had told them anything about the times in Painter Germany and stuff. So and also stuff about the Eastern Germany, DDR communist times, because I had gotten interested in that through the first episodes of season 3. So like I do a lot of tangents, yes, but I also talk some about eyewitness reports from those times that I heard. So, yeah, the 2 hours. For a moment, I also thought splitting it into 2 parts, the reaction, but I guess it will be a reaction movie you get. I don't even know when it will be out on the channel. So currently, Patreon has the edited, like I've edited up to 3:15 currently. It's on Patreon, but yeah, the end is something I don't know about, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I will not talk about it here because we might get into spoilery accidentally. And I've not been spoiled about anything other than that there are not an ape titan and an asshole with glasses, but the ape titan is the asshole with glasses. So, but yeah. Fate Stay Night. Yes, I've considered it. It was on my list, and I think someone on Patreon, and I'm so bad with names. So I chatted with some of you on Patreon and the community chat, of course. Like, you can always hit me up with messages, of course. And Nameless wasn't you. I think it was you, Nameless. Didn't we discuss it? Fate? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was us. It was with us. And I think you told me that there was some new Fate content coming. I think. Oh god, I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So it was you, Nameless. Good. I'm so glad I remembered it. It would have been so awkward, but I am sometimes awkward. You know me. So yeah, it was indeed Nameless. I did not recall it incorrectly. Yeah. Sergeant Frosty, are you a scientist? Yes, I am a scientist. I'm a researcher and teacher at a university. My subject areas are so I can perhaps, I don't know if you want to, do you want me to tell you how my university trajectory went? I don't know if you want to know that. So yeah, the visual novel of Fate Stay Night will come this year. I might do that. I might play that if you're up for that. So yeah. So yeah, my Bankai would be, I know exactly what my Shika and Bankai would be in my activation command and everything. I've thought that through a lot, but I might use it in this one story, not as Shika and Bankai, but as abilities for characters, so I will not. Yeah, so yeah, so I started out going to university to become a teacher in mathematics and physics at the secondary level mainly, but also like middle school. I don't know if that's the correct name. So I went there, I studied for 5 years, got my master's in mathematics and physics. And so I basically I have a bachelor in mathematics and physics, like a normal bachelor, and I have a educational master's degree in mathematics and physics. And then I realized that I hate maths, like not not teaching it at school. I love school maths, but university maths is so boring. Jesus freaking, this is so boring. And I'm so what do you say? In Germany, you would say schlampig, like you have to write down the proofs so like meticulously, and I like whatever, just skip this part. Everyone will know what it is. No, they will not. Like they will, but they will not give you the points. I hated that. Anyway, so I thought I would be a teacher. So that was basically my plans for the world. And then in my last year of university, I started working at the physics education department at my university, and I helped the professor there with some stuff, and I did some practicals, and I helped the people doing the practicals, and so then one day I was like, yeah, perhaps I could do a PhD, and but I thought I was too bad. I thought like, yeah, PhD, I would never make that. And I was at the elevator with my my professor there, like my boss, and I was like, yeah, and I asked him, what would I in general need to do to get a PhD? Like, what is the process? Like, how do you even do it? And he's like, you want to do a PhD? Yeah, you could do it in this and this with me. And like, he immediately was like, yeah, do it with me. So it's so cool. And so I got a job as a PhD student. And at first I was supposed to evaluate learning materials on quantum physics that he produced. And I did that. But I started reading up and taking psychology classes then. And I did many online. I did many like in my university. I like just sat into in the lectures and stuff. And I asked other colleagues I knew to give me some scripts and recommendations for psychology books. So I did a lot of reading. Like I probably read, I don't know, 20,000 pages on psychology, but with the focus on understanding. And then I kind of shifted into the psychology line. And now I'm currently doing research on both. Like I do research on understanding and try to put it into a coherent framework, and do empirical research to support that as well. Like I'm not just thinking and writing stuff. Like I've done several studies on understanding of quantum physics that did show some very interesting results, and so that's what I currently do in research. So I would say I'm a researcher in both psychology and physics, because I've published papers in both. I've published psychology stuff in education journals, but I've also published some stuff in physics journals about quantum theory and entanglement and quantum topology and stuff. So, I mean, that's so I would consider myself I think a psychologist first, but like a psychologist, educational psychologist, like not a person you can talk to, because I have no clue about that. Like I know some literature, but yeah, so that's basically, yeah, that's basically, so I'm doing currently a lot of quantum physics and a lot of psychology of understanding, so to speak, and a lot of astronomy. And it's been a very cool time, because I know many people from all around the world, and I know many professors in those areas as well, and I'm friends with several, and it's so cool if you can just call someone up who's like, I don't know, working for the new AI department in Stockholm, or like NASA people, or it's very cool. But yeah. So I am, and I have probably, like, I mean, I of course would say this because it's my research, but I do have a very good description and model of how understanding quantum physics works and where the problems lie, how to counter them. And it is also applicable to every other kind of learning we currently think. We're looking into it. So we could prove it is, no, we could find evidence that it is true for astronomy at least, and also for mathematics. So we are currently seeing how applicable it is, but that's basically what I do, yeah. And yes, it was awesome that my prof just asked me to work with him. Like, I wouldn't have thought that because I have really low self-esteem. Like, I do. Like not on camera here completely, but you know, it's one of my weaknesses, and I would have never believed to be able to do it. So yeah. So yeah, Fate Zero has a lot of branches. That's true. Nameless taught me so as much. Yeah. Hind's unfair. Yeah, Dune Part 2. Don't spoil anything, of course, but tell me your rating 0 between 10, because I'm gonna watch it next week and I will do a review. Can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, Kiara, I don't know. It's like understanding has always fascinated me. And there was a time in my life in school when I thought it's like not definable and too fuzzy and no one knows it. And yeah. So, I mean, Andrew, I do, at least for my PhD thesis, I did some digging into some letters and into some books and reports of quantum physicists, like what they say, how do they talk about quantum physics, and it actually maps almost one-to-one to what I did find out in model. For example, like that blew my mind so much. It blew my mind. Like I did my PhD research, and I figured out this model, like to model how people think about it. And then I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I find it in the research that's discussing problems with like understanding several like atoms. And then I read The Part and the Whole by Werner Heisenberg. And there's a passage where he said, where he depicts what Bohr says about his models. And he's exactly talking about what I found out, I think. And that's so cool. So, yeah. And 8.5 is good if you haven't read the book. That's already good, because I think the worst part about Dune Part 1 is that the non-book readers might get confused. So if you already gave this an 8.5, I'm excited. Excited, yes. Would you ever work with Mayuri as a fellow scientist? Which Mayuri? Which Mayuri? Which arc? You have to specify that, otherwise I won't answer. And I would not let him modify my body, no. Yeah. Yeah, Fate, we will have to, but as Nameless said, and I hope I remember correctly, that Fate, the novel, is a good place to start. So we will start there. I promise you that we will start with it. So, have I ever dabbled in philosophy? Yes. Like, I like my best friend is doing a PhD in philosophy. And one of my hobbies for my university times was once a week going for a walk with him for 3 hours and just doing philosophy. So, yeah. SS Mayuri, no. Definitely not. No, he can go frick himself. Post Pernida Mayuri, definitely. Yeah, like Dune Part 1 is an awesome movie. So awesome. So good. So I think we should get a bit into the YouTube questions, and then we will go to Tower of God. Like, I think we do perhaps 10 more minutes of questions, and then we go to Tower of God. Because, oh God, we've been here for so long. And people are still here. You're so awesome. So awesome. So, let me actually see. I did somewhere save them. I just need to find them. Oh yeah, also, I will post my new horror story because it's brilliant. Nah, I think it's pretty good. There is my horror story. You can watch it. It's 4 hours. But anyway, so there's the YouTube. So I hope you can read it. Oh God, I should really get a new picture, by the way. That picture's so stupid. I made it, I think, after my third video, and I still use it. I think I will keep it. It reminds me of other times. Also, I hope I didn't miss anyone in the Q&A from Patreon. If I did, tell me. I will answer it in the next Patreon comment answer video. So, yeah, by the way, I've started on Patreon to once a week answer all the Patreon comments on the videos in a video. I don't know if anyone is interested in that. But yeah. So, Storm Needs Troopers, shoutouts to you. I don't know if you're here in the chat right now. I hope you can all read it. What's your favorite FTL travel method? So there are 3 FTL travel methods that are in sci-fi, and there are no more, I think. So there is warp bubbles, so bending space-time around you. There is wormholes, so just going through a portal and immediately being at the other side. And there is using in-between space, like the warp or the hyperspace in Stargate. And my favorite one is actually the latter, like the Warhammer space. Like you have to go to this other space, jump into it, and then jump out. I love that. It's just so cool, so cool. Would Hanya be a better physicist or psychologist? Physicist. Like, man, Hanya, Jesus Christ, she's a broken woman now. Holy fuck. I mean, she might recover after. I mean, she killed all the Titans with her stupid hammer thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I can't wait to, in season 4, to see how the characters are. Because the point they were at the end of season 3 is like that Hanya is so destroyed. And, yeah. Anyway, let's not go into the season 3 stuff. Yeah. I have not seen Coherence Devil-esque. But it rings a bell. I think I might have wanted to. Yeah. How would I get Hanji up to date on modern physics and engineering? I would probably just give her... So, physics and engineering, I would probably just give her Nolting books. Yep, the Nolting books. So Nolting is a book, they are books we used in Germany, at least in my university, to teach the basics. They're like together this size, like it's 4 books of 5, and they teach you mechanics, thermodynamics, quantum physics, things on particle physics, and electrodynamics and statics. So that's what I would give her, and she will read that. And yeah, Coherence. Why does it ring a bell? I don't know. I'm sorry, Devil-esque. I just don't know. There goes the rest of the night. I'm sorry, Julian. I mean, it's for you at the same time as for me. Do you have any German media you'd recommend which was known to a wider audience, be audiobooks, movies, etc.? Yes, Dark. I know Dark is very widely known, I think. Sergeant Frosty, it's exactly like that, but you replace the first T with an L. He's a professor, I think, in Hamburg. A colleague of mine was in... Yeah. The story. Yeah, the story. Yeah, I hope you all listen to the story. I now would think, and I don't say that because I hope you will then more likely be up to listening to it, but it is very Attack on Titan-y in the rawness of the the rawness of the story, I feel, but it's more sad. So it's a bit like the sadness of Frieren is in the story, but the rawness of Attack on Titan. So I hope I advertised it a bit. Yeah, but I mean that is true. But also, side I would be very, very glad if you listen to it, because it took a lot of time and I worked a bit through what being a parent means in that story. So I mean, yeah. Gunbuster has another one. I would be very interested in another FTL drive. Reality engines, that already sounds so cool. But yeah, going back to NOG and NC, because I know only the ones called Ebro reports. Like that is my series. That's my series. Like I don't do all of them. No, by no means. No. I just do the Ebro reports. Wait, let's go here. I will just show it. So you can go there. So if you are interested in my horror universe, if anyone is new, they're here. You see that? Oh, it doesn't really matter, but this is the one that was real, and then the rest is, But the stream might suffer if I open YouTube now, so. Yeah. Yeah, but back to the German stuff. So I think Dark for me is, if you like Attack on Titan, you like Dark. Because it's exactly as planned through. Like Attack on Titan, Dark, and Westworld Season 1 are all in the same way planned through to perfection. So, if you have not seen Dark, it's a German TV series, 3 seasons. It was drafted from the first to the last episode, and it's brilliant, utter brilliance. That's probably the one I would. And Wolfsheim, the band that I took the intro song from as well. And Uma congratulated and was there already in the stream, so shoutouts to Uma. And yeah, she says she joined late. No, she was like one of my first subs, I feel. The Tower of God reactions. We will do that again today. Why did I get into reactions? Ooh, interesting. I don't remember completely, but yeah, Julian, Westworld Season 2 I also would count in, but like it is like Westworld Season 1 for me is like a 1,000 out of 10, and Westworld Season 2 is 9.5 out of 10. So I mean it's still very good, but like Season 1 Westworld is like this planned through thing that's like perfection, and same for Dark, I feel so. So yeah, why did I do reactions? I did reactions. So I've started with horror reactions. I don't know if any of you still know this. So this channel started with horror reactions. So I watched scary videos and commented on them. And the idea was so I watched them first and I pretended they were real. I switched out my doubting scientist mind. And after that, I went through every video again and saw, was like, yeah, this might be wrong because, I mean, no one watched that. I mean, the video with the most clicks there is like 25 clicks, so no one watched it. But I did 80 episodes, I think. I think there are 80 episodes. It was very fun because I loved horror. And basically only a friend of mine was watching it who liked horror, and he really supported me. And it was just a fun thing because I just loved horror and I loved, filming me watch stupid stuff. And I also got very like often I got jumped and I got scared. Like they're like all the Grudge videos, man, they all got me. Jesus Christ, it's yeah. I don't know. It's like and and that's also, by the way, why I'm planning on doing the Saturday Sunday Hail Mary slots, because I will do that again. I want to do some of those again, and I just want to make sure that the normal content, Sort by Oldest God, it's like, oh yeah. Ooh, Gunbuster. Yeah, I think Amelia, I heard about the drive that turns the ship into different particles. That's an interesting idea. That's a very cool idea. Yeah, so I did like, and it was so stupid. Like I did it. It was called Multi Scared, because my name is Malte. Like I did a pun on multi-scared. Will I be scared multiple times? And I had a little ghost in the corner, and it was like every time I got really jumped, like I think I once fell over or something, because I got so immersed, and like if I was scared multiple times, I was multi-scared, which was a stupid pun, but anyway, it was so fun. Sometimes I really went off on idiots that obviously faked stuff, but anyway, and but that was my channel. Like it was my channel for half a year, I think, and then came Dune, the movie, and I reacted to the trailer, and it was just this little trailer thing, and there were many people who loved my reaction to that, because I do it like I do it now, I guess. Like I watched the trailer, didn't know anything, went in blind, and then went through every frame and was like, what could this mean? What could this mean? And people were so kind in the comments. Like I think I went up to 50 subs like in like 5 days. It's mind-blowing at that time. It was so cool. And there were so many kind comments that talked to me and were like, yeah, this is the book, and this is Frank Herbert, and he did this and this and this, and just loved that. It was so good. It was so good. And I liked that thing, doing that, like talking about stuff and just telling people what I thought about media. And then I changed the channel name to Stories with Style, because it was called Scared with Style before. And then we're here. Like now we're here with like 7,000 people at least subbed, and we're watching Attack on Titan and doing 2-hour reactions, and so much fun. So much fun. What I miss a bit is the real live action reactions, but I just can't do them anymore. They take too much time to edit. Like. And they don't gain views, and I rather watch something and enjoy it on my own. And then, because I think it was a bit with the Doctor Who and One Piece reactions, I got a bit of a bad mood there, because like I recorded this stuff, and I think the One Piece reactions, I edited them in part for 4 hours each, and I think they got like 50 views. And then I put out a Frieren episode, and it got like 10,000, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's not to say that I didn't like doing it, but it's just like the work I put in, like no one cared, so to speak. And I know that's also a bit of a stupid reason, perhaps. But I was just like, there was this, and I had that before with some shows, and I was like, no, stopping that, not gonna do that. Character tier for Attack on Titan. Yes, I will do that. I will definitely do that, because I want to, like, I'm planning on doing a character tier list after season 4, though, because I want to use that to discuss and, like, think about all of it again and go through the story. But yeah. So, favorite TV shows that you've seen in the past, filmed and animated. I mean, the ones I react to on the channel, obviously, most of them. Like, let's say, okay, let's go Bleach, Bleach, Attack on Titan, Frieren, One Piece live action was also very good. I'm just thinking what I saw. I like I say, Westworld season 1 and 2, Dark, Doctor Who, save for the part where the writer turned out to be a monkey. Other stuff I really love. Parks and Recreations, IT Crowd, The Mentalist. I love The Mentalist. It's my favorite crime show. I rewatch it like every 5 years or so. I feel I love it. So brilliant. Other stuff. I probably forget a lot. I'm sorry. So, where can you read my academic papers? Yes. You can, if you PM me on the Discord, I will send them to you. But I will just I don't want to give you my full name here for everyone. You can Google me in 5 seconds, I think. I mean, I told you what I do. It's 5 people who do that in the world, so you will find me. But I if you Google me and find me, you will have put effort into it. So I just will not shout out my name here. So, but if you are interested, yeah, feel free to DM me on Discord. I will send you some papers. I think I put down a DOI under the Frieren video. I think in Frieren episode 122, I did put down a DOI to a paper of mine. So, I mean, you can also go there. But yeah, I will leave it at that. Because actually, it was quite fun. I did get sent a copy of Tower of God Season 1 in German to my workplace. And it was very flattering, but I was very surprised, and I still don't know who did it. So I'm very sad I don't know, because I would love to thank them. It was very, very, very kind. So you don't do that, because I feel I don't want this. It's weird to put into words, but it's I always feel bad when people give me stuff. Because I'm yeah, use that money on yourself. That's my thing. Go eat some good stuff and a toast to me or something, but yeah. Yeah, Andrew, I hope you have a good night. We will go to Tower of God in a moment anyway. So the Q&A time is almost over. So yeah, Amelia, the 60th anniversary was pretty cool. It's I still love it, and I'm so glad it's back. There are gripes I have, and I think you had some as well, but I'm just a Doctor Who fan. I love Doctor Who. One of my most pleasant things was I was at a Doctor Who convention in Germany, and I met Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred. And there was this weird moment, there was the Q&A with Sylvester McCoy, and I'm too shy to ask questions, of course. I'm so shy in real life. You can't believe how shy I am. And I just sat there and no one asked the question. And then someone went up and was he asked Sylvester McCoy a question about brass. He literally did that. And Sylvester McCoy went through the public, to the audience because he couldn't believe it. And I looked him in the eyes and I was and he was that was so cool. That was my favorite Doctor Who moment. Seventh Doctor is such an awesome Doctor, one of my favorites. And I love that dude. He's such a jolly fella. I think he's a performer. So, what is my most favorite show right now? Right now, it is. I think it's both Attack on Titan and Frieren. I can't because they're both, as I said, for me they are currently the same side, two sides of the same coin in a way. And I couldn't, because they are so different but so the same, and it's so cool. But yeah, those two. Besides Germany, what other countries in the world would you consider ever living in? Yeah, I think I answered that. So Wolf Shadow, I hope you got that answered. Where in the world have you traveled, and what are some lasting impressions you've had? That's a good question. I did travel through several countries in Europe. Our sergeant also asked it. I did answer that before, so. Oh no, I didn't. So sorry, it's getting late. I also mind fart now. But yeah, so my favorite country is Greece to visit currently. Yeah, Sergeant, I saw it. So my favorite country is Greece because, first of all, I love Greek food. I absolutely love well-made Greek food in Greece. And And I went to Greece with my parents every summer when I was a child for like several years. Then we stopped a bit, and then I went back when I was a teenager. And we always went to the same campground. And I got to know the guy who owns it, and I befriended him a bit, so to speak. And that was so cool. And I actually got wasted the first time there because he was also owning the camping site bar, of course. Like I was very tipsy, so I was very heiter. And so yeah, because he like gave me everything for free. Because I went there when I was a like young child, and they went there when I was a teenager, like in drinking age. And so he met me again after like 12 years, and he was like, yeah, come on, let's go. It was very cool. And a very, very good colleague of mine also is Greek. And she's such a kind person. And she also invited me to her little cabin near the sea. So yeah, it's like the Greek mentality to me, like when I talk to them, like they curse it in Greek so much, so I can identify with that a bit. And they sleep a lot, and they sleep long, and I do that as well. And they seem to have such a jolly heart, and I love that. So I think Greece is, like, people-wise, Greece is my favorite place. And like they also have great things to look at. I also like some parts of Paris. I also did like I did not like Venice at all. I was there once. That's like, you always think they're like these little ships. I don't know what they are called in English. And I was like, yeah, it's so beautiful. And I went there, and it was basically one main road, and the side roads all were like stuffed with like wiring, and really, really ugly. And I was so disappointed. So yeah. My favorite character. Oh God. My favorite character. It's probably the Doctor. It's probably the 12th Doctor. I also like Patrick Jane a lot, like from The Mentalist. I like Ron Swanson a lot, and Leslie Knope. Those two are also, I love them. So let's say what the Doctor, because the idea of something so, and Frieren as well, I think. Though Frieren not yet. It's not yet my favorite. Yeah, no, it's not in that. Frieren's very, very cool, but she's not like, I haven't. She's still too fan for me. So, oh, they are called gondolas. Oh, okay. So in Germany they are called Gondeln. So it's similar, but yeah. So Ron Swanson, because he has this honor in him. And I love that. Leslie Knope, because he has this good-heartedness in her. Patrick Jane, because also he has this good-heartedness in him, and there is this corruption that's going through, and he does his best to get the bad guys without hurting him most of the time. I mean, if it's not Red John. And yeah. And the Doctor, because I just love this age-old being that is traveling through the universe and loses everyone they love, and knows stuff and can talk to people like a person who's lived for 1,000 years, and I love that so much. So I think those are my favorite characters, my favorite fictional ones. So last one, cliches and tropes I hate. Most of the times I hate overpowered characters that don't do wrong. That's boring. I hate jump scares a lot if they are stupid. I love good jump scares, but I hate bad jump scares. Like, that's one of, God, cliches I hate. What cliches do I hate? I mostly find cliches funny. Like I laugh at a lot of stuff, so I laugh at cliches a lot. So, but tropes, I don't know. I also don't like tropes that are like, I don't like obstacle characters. I think that's my most hated trope, obstacle characters. What I mean by that is, so there's a storyline, and suddenly there's this character who starts a sub-arc of facing off against the heroes for some reason, and you know they are like gonna be beaten in the end, and yeah, it's like, God. Forced romance between characters that don't fit. I think bad romance wastes time in a story in general. It's not even forced romance between characters. Sometimes, like, I think in the more Western media, there's always like, there always has to be the love interest in the story. Always. And it always takes away time sometimes. Like, sometimes they force it, and I hate that. Hi, Crusaders. So, yeah, I don't like that. For example, Bleach has no romance directly. I love that. The Perfect Game Hero Midnight Sun trilogy. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Perfect Game Hero Midnight Sun. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean Attack on Titan? I thought that was a book series. Oh God. Yeah. 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 Fans will always read into romance. Yeah, I don't know. Like Attack on Titan, like as I said, season 3, part 2. That was like, I was like, that was the first time for a long time that I got really, really, really addicted to watching more episodes. Really addicted. Like I always want to know more. Like, you know how I react to cliffhangers, but yeah, platonic relationships over romance in fiction. That is for me as well, because I see it like this. It is more like, yes, there is a lot of love in the world. That sounded so dumb, but like you only love, and normally, at least, I mean, in my culture, and I also kind of see it like that. You mostly love one or two people really, really deeply. Like I love my wife deeply. I love my children deeply. There are friends I would say I love, like, but not in like yeah, I think there are. So it is not only platonic anymore. Like there is like this family love in friends I have. I don't know. It's hard to describe. So, but most people I know, I would say I'm platonic friends with, or like good acquaintance. But I would say, because I like almost everyone I meet. Like that's, I don't know. I always love to meet new people. I love it when people tell me stuff. I don't know. I think I have a face that people tell stuff to, because when I was in university, every time I was standing at the bus stop, someone was there next to me, and they just started talking about their life story to me. It was always cool. Yeah, it's like something like that, Bruder-Schwester-Liebe, but yeah. That's yeah. I will actually slowly pull up Tower of God, and you can still ask questions, of course. Like you always can ask questions in streams, but yeah, I will quickly look at Webtoon. Can't wait to read on. Oops, what the frick is this website? Web. Nope. Oh, great. You know that now I typed in webtoon.de because of habit, and now it has that saved. It will always autocomplete it to that. Jesus Christ, I hate that. So I remember I have to Google Tower of God in Webtoon. Tower of God. Webtoon. I'm not looking at the pictures. How can I get to a certain page though? Oh no, how can I go to a certain chapter? Uh-oh. Oh, there's continue reading now. Nah, because I've got a new PC. Oh god. Oh no. Does anyone know where we I know we left off at like 380, but oh wait. We were there already. Okay. Okay, so there is Hell Train. Yeah, this is about where we were. I will actually for a moment look it up on the channel because I don't want to look at these thumbnail pictures because they might be spoilers. They probably are spoilers. Or did someone already post it? Or someone... Oh, Crusaders, I have already recorded season 3. So... Yeah, we now... Our last stream says 277. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, 277. 277. Yeah, that seems about right. 280 on the thumbnail. Oh god, yeah. I probably... Let me see. I think the last... Because I recorded the last thing with my daughter on my lap. I remember that. No, I read this one. Or did I? Yeah, so Crusaders. So I did record the whole of season 3 already of Attack on Titan, and yeah, I'm sorry I don't have the background from Tower of God. You can send like if you want post one on the Discord. You would love. Like I lost my Rachel eye that is looking at us. So did we? I thought that we ended with them meeting the 3 coons, didn't we? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh god, it's been too long. I hate that. It's too long. No problem, Crusaders. No problem. No problem. But I can also again tease you a bit. The reaction to episode 320, so 20 of season 3 is 2 hours. So, so okay, Nameless. All right. So I hope you have a great evening. Yeah, I know YouTube's on 3.6. I don't know how it happened. I feel like I said it in, and you don't, of course you have not seen it yet. I said it after the last episode of season 3. I think I recorded only 4 evenings and I recorded 312 to 322. It's like, so, did we already see him, doing this dude here? Oh right, yeah, Kuhn. Yeah, they try to stall them to not succeed with the quest, right? I agree. I remember. I remember. Oh, let me actually put myself in front of this. Okay, that's a bit better. So can you see this? Like, is it okay? Yeah, let's do it like this, I think. Yeah, Julian, do that. But again, the ebook record is very long. Also, don't forget to comment and give Wilith some love. Yeah, they're stalling Big Greedy. I remember that. But did we? Yeah, I think we had that. Yeah, we had that. We had that. Yeah. Kun. Okay, we had that. He used the lighthouses. Yeah, I'm a bit sorry that I should have refreshed before we started, but. Attack on Titan's art style is really cool, though I think we examined the manga page for 212 because there was the controversy in my reaction. And like the manga drawing is interestingly, like it reminds me of Tower of God stuff. Like in that it is not that refined, like, but it doesn't matter. Like if the story is brilliant, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the last episode we read. Yes, I remember this. Or did we? No, this was spawned last time, didn't it? Oh god. We're just gonna read it from here on. Because I remember the lighthouses, I remember that. But I mean, on the bright side, next time we will know where I stopped. God. So let's just start from here. So if there is a little gap, I'm sorry. So, oh, and I should definitely change my bitrate here next time. Anyway, so are you ready to finally go to the Tower of God? We teleported it from very far away, so it will take some time to find it. No matter what it takes, we need to buy time until the grand quest is complete. Hope this goes as planned. Yeah, we hope that as well. Stealing someone's toy? Looks like you new warriors have some bad habits. What is this thing, by the way? Is this the guardian that was hidden inside? Don't know. Probably was that. Big Breeder! How? Like to ask you the same. How did you two? Oh. Okay, so my daughter just woke up and I will have to make a break. You know what I will do? I will stop the stream and start a Tower of God stream in 15 minutes. Okay, be there. Don't miss it. I see you soon.